This is an MBC sports presentation.
The 14th Fountain City Classic finds Fort Valley still hoping for a shot at the SIAC crown after knocking off the #1 team, Kentucky State, last Saturday. The Wildcats are led by Derek Wimbush, the conference's leading rusher, who ran for a career-high 216 yards, including this 80-yard game-winning scamper in the fourth quarter. Can the four-time SIAC Player of the Week repeat his performance today against the conference's top defensive team in Albany State? The Golden Rams are led by linebacker Walter Curry, who leads the SIAC in sacks and tackles for loss. Albany State can also put points on the board as they lead the conference in scoring. It promises to be a shootout in Columbus, Georgia, and it's next on MBC. It is a gorgeous day in Columbus, Georgia, and we're here for the 14th Fountain City Classic. As Albany State, with an 8-2 record, takes on Fort Valley, they are 7-3. Let's check out the SIAC standings on this final week of the regular season as Kentucky State and Albany State come in tied at 6-1, while Miles and Fort Valley are 5-2. Now, if Kentucky State wins today over Tuskegee, and the Thoroughbreds will win their first ever SIAC title. If they lose and Albany State wins, the Golden Rams have it. There is also a possibility for a four-way tie, and if it comes down to that, there's the tiebreaker system. You see it right there. And, well, it could be anybody's title at the end of this season. Charlie Neal, along with Hall of Famer Lim Barney, glad you could join us here in Columbus, Georgia. And this game, Lim, basically comes down to the battle of the best. And it all starts with John Morgan, the first-year head coach at Fort Valley, who has his team right now in the hunt.
Yes, he does, Charlie. Coach John Morgan, as you mentioned, first-year coach, he has his team believing in themselves, believing that they can win.
And when you talk about rushing the ball and putting the ball on the ground, they're ranked 8th nationally, and they're led by a young man by the name of Derek Wimbush, one of our ones to watch today.
He is one of our ones to watch. Derek Wimbush is special. He runs with tremendous power. He's got quickness and speed, and he loves to run to daylight. He's coming off a 216-yard game on last week against Kentucky State.
And that 80-yard run right there, but on the other side of the ball, he's going to have to contend with Mike White's defense from Albany State. There's a team that's ranked #1 nationally in total defense.
Well, Coach Mike White, Charlie, he wears two hats. He's a defensive coordinator as well as a head coach. And the biggest thing about this season, he has his team in contention. And with a win here today, he'll move a step closer to their goal.
One reason they're so lethal is the play of number 50. His name is Walter Curry. He leads the nation in sacks.
Walt Curry, Charlie, at 6'4", 268 pounds, is a special ball player with special skills. He's got quickness, he's got speed, and he loves to sack quarterbacks.
And no question about it. This will be the 57th time that these two teams have met. We're at the 14th Fountain City Classic, Fort Valley and Albany State. The kickoff is next. Charlie Neal along with Lim Barney here in Columbus, Georgia. It's the 14th Fountain City Classic. And they've been tailgating for quite a while. Also joining us, our third member of our broadcast team today, out there somewhere in the crowd, is Rob Jones. Rob?
Hey, guys, what a beautiful day for football. Sunny skies and a nice breeze for this 14th annual Fountain City Classic. Tons of Wildcats and Rams coming out for this game. They started yesterday tailgating. They're expecting about 20,000 fans to pack the stands and the grass area on both sides of the field. Now, Albany State leads this Fountain City Classic 9-4, but the all-time series goes to Fort Valley State. They lead this series 31-22-3. However, Albany State won the last 3 of 4 ball games, including last year's 31-7 beatdown. So you know the Wildcats want to get even with this one. This is going to be a great ball game. All the marbles on the line. Back to Charlie and Liv.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Enjoy yourself out there in the crowd. It's just a gorgeous day here in Columbus, Georgia. In the white jerseys, well, you're looking at the team in the blue jerseys. That's Albany State, the Golden Rams. Fort Valley won the toss, deferred, and decided to kick off. And as Jacobs, he's kicking deep. The deep man is Alvin Ray Jackson. He's at the 1-yard line. Bringing it out for Albany State. Makes a move along the sideline. Coming up, and he's finally dropped down at the 20. So that's where Albany State will go to work. First down and 10. First offensive possession of the ball game. Albany State. Don Pittman is the offensive coordinator in his second year. Yul Joyner is the quarterback, a junior out of Albany, Georgia's Darty High, two-time SIAC player of the week this season. And you look at the stats on him. He's thrown 12 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. He started the game against Valdosta State at the beginning of the season. It was his first football action since his high school state championship at Dougherty High back in 1998. First down and 10 at their own 20. One lone setback behind him is Antonio Atkins, and they go with a little screen pass or a flat pass, and it comes out to Alvin Ray Jackson out of Como, Mississippi. And looking at the backs and receivers for Albany State. Antonio Atkins, the running back. Alvin Ray Jackson, who just caught the pass, is one of the receivers, along with Clinton Rafe. Zontavius Johnson, the tight end, is Ed Harper. The offensive line of Simmons, Doones, Magwood, Calhoun, and Crawley on second down. On the option play to the right side, quarterback keeps it. Joyner takes it across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Let's look at the defense for the Wildcats of Fort Valley State. The line led by Andre Bird, Rashad Chisholm, Howard Ross, and Michael Stewart, the linebackers. They only play 2 of them in Evans and Carlton Stubbs. They play 3. Oh, we'll wait until the next play to get the rest of them. Here's the quarterback. Joyner trying to get to the first down, and he's not going to get there. And that'll bring up a 4th down punting situation as you look at the secondary for Fort Valley. Jacobs, along with Fitzgerald of the corners, 2 strong safeties in Scott and Tillery, and Shelton Belton, who leads the nation in interceptions with 8. Is the free safety. Those starting lineups brought to you by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep 4x4. So punting it away, Albany State. Arango is back to punting. And now we're going to get a penalty, maybe delay of game or timeout being called. Now timeout is called by Fort Valley. Apparently they didn't have everybody in place that they wanted to, and that's the reason for the timeout.
Well, one of the reasons also, Charlie, was number 26, Marcus Jefferson, on the punt cover team, was flanked all the way out. No one was on him. It could have been easily a pass thrown by the punter as a fake punt to gain the first down and 10. Our keys to victory for Albany State today is brought to us by Geico. Score more points. Albany State has been doing that quite a bit. Stop the running attack of Wimbush from Fort Valley, and special teams play. This is a Geico-sponsored Keys to Our Victory, and brought to you by Geico, the sensible alternative.
So it's a 4th down punting situation. Arango back to punt it away. High snap. He gets the kick off. High end over end. It will not be returned, but it does take an Albany State bounce and dies at about the 33-yard line. So Fort Valley will take over their first offensive possession at their own 33-yard line after a punt of 39 yards by Arango, who came into the game averaging 32.2 yards per kick, but he got the generous roll there to help him out a little bit. Let's look at Cecil Lester. He is the starting quarterback for Fort Valley. He's only played in 6 games this season. They've played extremely well since he's come back into the fold. He has 1,993 career passing yards, 15 touchdowns. Only 2 interceptions he's thrown this season. First and 10.
Smart ball player, Charlie. Don't just throw balls away.
And bounced around. That could have been anybody's ball. Couple of receivers and defensive backs down there.
Marcus Bentley, the intended receiver there, coming up on the stop in coverage there is Jermaine Collins. Number 12, here it is. The ball was intended, thrown on a rope. Had he put some air on it. Look at the battle there as number 84, Marcus Bentley, goes for the reception again. Incompleted forward pass, first down and 10, now second down and 10.
Second and 10 from their own 33-yard line. The lone setback is Derek Wimbush. 216 yards a week ago. The man in motion to tight end was Adam Bailey. he gets set. And now the pitch to Wimbush, trying to right side. Wimbush. And Wimbush gains about, and they finally call him down. Let's see where they mark it. It's going to be interesting where they mark it. They're actually going to mark it at the 39, so give him a 6-yard gain as we look at the backs and receivers for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Deron Croson, who was last year's Player of the Year for the SIAC as a running back. Derek Wimbush, Marcus Bentley, Tokwa Thrasher, along with Adam Bailey, are the receivers. The offensive line of Han Richardson, Kenny Turner, veteran at center, Terry Abrams and Jason Shepard make up the offensive line for the Wildcats. On third down and short. Little swing pass out in the flat, trying to go to Deron Croson, and it goes incomplete. That'll bring up a 4th down punting situation. As we look at the defense for Albany State, Lewis, Davis, and Bonds are the down linemen. The linebackers of Harris Williams, Demetrius Isom, and Walter Curry. Harris and Curry, you want to keep your eyes on them. There's Collins Dukes, William Felton, and Dimitri McCray are the secondary.
Charlie, you know that play
those are brought to you by Jeep, the most respected, honored, heroic 4x4 out there.
Excuse me. You know that play was tried and was unsuccessful at least 6 times last week against Kentucky State. And then they open up the first series with the same pass. It was really actually intended for Derek Wimbush. Eric pass again, incomplete, 4th down punting situation.
Jacobs, they skid it along the ground, and he's going to be dropped. Special teams play coming through. Not a good center. Not a good job from the center for Fort Valley on that snap, which it went along the ground, which didn't allow the punter any time.
Rodney Magwood is the center. He sort of strolled it back there, skipped off the ground. Here is some activity here. Good job by number 32.
Well, they staying with it, ain't they?
Travis Jackson, absolutely, like a heavyweight fight. Good turnover.
From the 28, from the shotgun. Pass over the middle, wide open at the 5. And a 1st down. Jeremy Mickens out of Como, Mississippi, his 8th reception of the season. And
Great
he takes
play.
it down inside the 5 to the 4, where it'll be 1st and goal, Albany State. And that bad snap could come back to haunt Fort Valley here early in this ball game. After a 23-yard catch and run. Here's the quarterback, Joyner, turning the corner.
He's
touchdown. 4-yard run for Yule Joyner, his 7th rushing touchdown this year. 28-yard drive, 2 plays, they make it look easy.
To the right side, good blocking. Here's the pinch down, and nothing but a wide open hole there as Yule Joyner gets it into the end zone for the first score in this 14th annual classic.
And on for the point after Arango, who's only missed 1 PAT this year. And this one is up, and it is good. He is 44 of 45 in PATs, and it's a 7-0 ball game. And Albany State taking advantage of a mistake by Fort Valley early, and they're partying here in Columbus. One of the things as we look at our score here, 7-0 in the 14th Fountain City Classic, Albany State striking quickly. They have outscored their opponents in the first quarter this year 93-9, so they don't give up a lot of points in the first quarter.
But they score a lot.
They certainly do. High kickoff.
Travis Floyd.
Floyd on the return. Floyd has something going on.
Got the kicker to get.
The kicker to beat, and the kicker runs him out of bounds at the 47-yard line. Arango saved the day. Or was that Arango? That was not Arango that ran him out of bounds for Albany State. That was Eddie Robertson.
Fine job by Travis Floyd.
Or was it Arango? That was Arango.
Here it is again. Floyd burst to the right side. Good blocking there at the point of attack. Great return. Good field position.
Floyd, that's his longest return of a kickoff this year. 39 yards. His previous long was 30. He's ranked 6th in the conference in kickoff returns. 1st and 10. Fort Valley trailing 7-0 from the shotgun. Lester throws, has it complete across midfield into Albany State territory to Cecil Reed. Let's look at the Geico keys to victory for Fort Valley, Lim.
Geico's keys to victory, Charlie, are the Fort Valley rush for 200 yards or greater, field position by special teams as we just had there by Floyd, and the defense must force turnovers. They didn't in their second series, but here again, we still got a long ways to go. Brought to you by Geico.
It is 2nd down. Keeping the ball on the ground with Croson. Croson maybe a yard and maybe a fumble.
I think
Walter Curry's fired up in there.
That's what it was. It was the fire from the defense on the left side that they were so fired up from stopping Croson. Good job there at the point of attack, and we have a man for Fort Valley down.
Terry Adams, the right guard out of Decatur, Georgia, Chamblee High. The sophomore is the one who's a little slow getting up. Let's go down to Rob.
Hey, you saw that big hit Wimbush put on Croson before the game. I talked to him about stopping Wimbush. He said he's been thinking about the game and the matchup all week long. He said he'll get mad if his DBs has to tackle either one of those guys. And when he gets mad, he gets angry like the Incredible Hulk. He's going to go after him. So check out Wimbush, check out Croson and Curry throughout this ball game.
It's going to be quite a dogfight down there. Walter Curry, you look at the stats on him. He leads Division II all in sacks and tackles for loss. He was the preseason first team all SIAC selection. It is 3rd and 4. The ball at the 47-yard line of Albany State from the shotgun. Lester. Wimbush is below back beside him. And a fumble. And let's see whose ball it is. It might be. It is. Albany State has it. The second, if you want to call it, turnover of the ball game.
It is a turnover, Charlie. It's the second one again. They got great field position right at midfield. Takeaways, here it is. It looked like the quarterback, Cecil Lester, was backing up, looking down the field for coverage and not keeping his eyes on the ball. He too, like a receiver, must WBIH, must watch ball in hands. And again, tremendous turnover by the defense for Albany State. 1st and 10 at their 50-yard line.
And here's the quarterback, Joyner. And the pass is incomplete. 1st down and 10. When you talk about turnovers in this ball game, Fort Valley came into the game fumbling the ball 28 times. They lost 12. They were in the +8 category. Both teams +8 in the giveaway takeaway department, but doing a great job on the defensive side of taking the ball away. They've taken away, that is Albany State, 14 of their opponents' 22 fumbles.
Mario Montez mishandled the ball, man.
And now good defense on the part of Fort Valley as Rashad Chisholm was in there to make the stop, and he also had some help from his friends. Jerome Tillery's number 41 you see there, freshman out of McNair High in Atlanta. They had a sack a week ago against Kentucky State. It's 3rd down after a loss of 2. Make it 3rd and about 12. From the gun, Joyner steps up, throws, too big, almost intercepted. They call it. Shelton Belton was looking for his 9th interception of the year.
He's a ball hawk, Charlie,
yeah,
I tell you. He's looking for anything from ground-to-air missiles.
Yeah, Belton was looking for number 9 this year, and he just couldn't come up with it. It just hopped a little bit in front of him.
Get a chance to see it again. Good pressure applied here. However, he had a chance to hit it over the outstretched hands of the intended receiver. Again, it was trapped. Incompleted forward pass, bringing up a fourth down, a punting situation.
Fumble again. And finally diving on it to save the day is Travis Floyd, yes. Rather. Boy, I'll tell you, that'll scare you.
I know Coach must have a heart attack by now. Here it is. You could see him trying to hustle up. The wind was bringing the ball back. It had a reverse spiral on it. And again, Travis didn't get underneath it far enough to handle it with his hand, and it bounced off of his leg. But again, alertly enough, he recovered it. First down and 10 for the Blue Machine at its own 25-yard line.
Blue Machine offense of Fort Valley. This is their third offensive possession of the day. Straight into the gut. As Winbush for a first down up to the 40. Gain of 15 yards on that run.
He gives himself a hand. Great job here at the point of attack, Charlie. Get a chance to watch it again. There it is. Trap blocking there, straight ahead blocking. And again, with his strength, his speed, and his quickness, 15 yards before the defense could even get set.
Actually, it was 14 on the carry. They marked the ball just shy of the 40 at the 39, but it's still a first down and 10. Bailey moving to the left side. Now he comes in motion. And the handoff and nothing doing there as Bailey got a good shot on his man, but the defense, the blue shirts, collapsed.
Elliott Bond.
Yeah, they just collapsed.
Elliott Bonds comes in to make the stop again. This is how defense is played. On the other side of the line of scrimmage, a loss of about a yard.
And there you see Elliott Bonds and the stats on him this year. Big number 97 out of Corpus Christi, Texas.
Levi Johnson's on board.
6 games a year ago, had a sack. This year, he's been all over the place for the senior. Comes in at 320 pounds.
Play action.
Pass.
Intercepted! Intercepted!
And that's not the quarterback's fault. That's the receiver's fault. Antonio Hughes had it on his fingertips, and it falls into the hands of Dimitri McGray out of Thomasville, Georgia. His 5th interception of the year.
Get a chance to watch it again. Good protection here. Roll out to his left. He sets. Fine throw. WPIH. Watch it in your hands. Again, timely interception. He brings it back upfield. Great field position again. They're operating now, starting at the Blue Machines 48-yard line, 1st and 10.
With 8:07 to go. Here's a play action by the quarterback, and Joyner didn't fool anybody that time as they drop him for a loss of about 2 yards on the play. Back to midfield. 17 turnovers this season. Fort Valley came in with the least in the SIAC. They've turned the ball over twice for all practical purposes, 3 times this afternoon, and that includes today. 2nd down and 12. Inside handoff to Rod Williams, and Williams is down to the 45-yard line. Gain of about 5 on the run. It'll bring up 3rd down and about 7. Here's a look at the stats on Rodriguez Williams out of Memphis, Tennessee. Came in averaging 6.3 yards per carry, and he's rushed for 3 touchdowns so far. It is 3rd down. Incomplete, far sideline. Pass over there as Yul Joyner was under a little pressure. That'll bring up a 4th down punting situation. So they did not bend. That's the 2nd time after a turnover that Fort Valley's defense, the Blue Death defense, has been able to hold.
Great coverage then also. As soon as the ball in his hand, he was being popped by the defender. 4th down punting situation. See if the wind play havoc with this.
Just get it away. Gonna wave it off, get away from it.
Inside the 20.
So there's a timeout on the field. And we're here in the 1st quarter. 6:54 remaining. Charlie Neal along with Lem Barney and Rob Jones here, and we're glad that the NBC fans are in the house.
Absolutely.
Here in Columbus, Georgia at Memorial Stadium for this 14th Fountain City Classic. As you look at Mike White, head coach of Albany State,
coordinator,
and 4th year as the SIAC as the head coach of Albany State. He was the SIAC Coach of the Year a year ago, defensive coordinator for 16 years. He's been an assistant since 1984 at Albany State before taking over as head coach. And up across the 25 to about the 27 is Derek Wimbush. And look at the turnovers here. We call that a turnover for all practical purposes because it gave Albany State great field position, then a fumble that they held on defense, and then the interception off the receiver's hands and into the hands of the defender, Dimitri McCray.
3 turnovers thus far, early going.
Fortunately, only 1 touchdown as a result of it. 7-0 is our scores. Lester has them set, and he gets off to Wimbush, who has the first down. Or no, that was a first down on the previous run of 10 yards. So he gains 2 on this one. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Charlie, he's something special. And if the offensive line continues to pop that defensive line, they're going to be wore down by the middle of the 3rd quarter. And Wimbush will do what he does best, and that's run to daylight. He has power, quickness, and speed. He's something special. 5
games this year over 100 yards rushing. Started the season against Morehouse, 171 yards, and then he had 161 against Lane, 137 against Clark, 161 against Alcorn, and 216 last week against Kentucky State. 2nd down. This is Croson, and Croson can't get away from Walter Curry. And we had a chance to talk with John Morgan, the first-year head coach, about these 2 great offensive backs, Croson and Wimbush.
I guess the benefit with Derek is because Derek and Deron, run so hard. This year he's just been the one that, once the guys are been wearing down, he's been there to make a big play for them. But Derek wouldn't be where he is without Deron, and Deron wouldn't be where he is without Derek. So, I have to talk about both of them when somebody mentions one because they work so well together.
Empty backfield on 3rd down, 3rd and 8.
5 eligible receivers.
Has a man wide open for a 1st down right at the 44-yard line, and is caught by Marcus Bentley. 14th reception of the year for Bentley, and he gives his team a 1st down as they move the sticks forward.
McCray on the stop, number 23 from his defensive back spot, along with Daniel Dukes assisting him. Finds throw and catch combination for 1st down yardage.
Cecil Lester is a double threat because he can do so much with his legs as well as his arm.
He certainly can, Charlie. He has a tangible that's not coachable. It's called avoidability and escapability.
Play clock down to 3 seconds. He just gets the snap off. Steps up, throwing down the far sideline. Oh! Just over the outstretched hands of the intended receiver down there. And again, that was Marcus Bentley, who just caught the previous pass to give him a 1st down.
Get a chance to see it again. Good protection here. He decides to air it out, didn't have enough air underneath it. Bentley tried with all of his might. Again, great coverage by Dimitri McCray.
Dimitri McCray, who has an interception to his credit in the game already, with him step for step.
Indeed, great coverage. Great one-on-one coverage. That's what the league looks for.
4:17 of time remaining in the 1st quarter. 7-0 is our score. For the 3rd straight year, Fort Valley has had a running back to go over 1,000 yards. Croson did it last year, Wimbush this year. 2 years ago was Orlando Wiley. And here we go again with Wimbush going straight into the gut. And he picks up about 3 yards. Make it 4 to be 3rd down and 6. So they've done a pretty good job on 3rd down conversions so far today. That is Fort Valley. They are 1 of 3. This will be their 4th attempt on the 3rd down conversion. As you look at Derek Wimbush's numbers, most in the SIAC, 1202. He came in with 1164, averaging 7.3 yards per carry, 12 touchdowns, ranked number 17 in the nation in rushing. Sprinting out, trying to get out of trouble. That might have been interference. There was a push in the back, but the officials didn't see it. It was a push in the back, definitely on Antonio Hughes by McCray. Or was it
Chris Colbert, number 19, I believe.
Yeah, he pushed him in the back, but
that wasn't a push. That was a mug.
You know, being a defensive back.
Absolutely, that was a mugging he got away with.
So from their own 48-yard line, they'll punt it away for the second time. This is only the second time out of 4 possessions that there was not disaster. Or actually the first time. We don't know what's going to happen. We've got to see what the snap is going to be like.
Every snap is an intriguing play here.
As Jacobs is back to punt it away.
Kenny Turner gets a good one off this time.
Good snap.
Not too good a punt. Great field position here.
Clinton Rafe on the return.
Great field position here. Good blockers.
Rafe down the sideline and out of bounds in front of the Fort Valley bench. Let's look at our Office Depot top 10 poll this week. We find the top 3 teams remain from a week ago, while Bethune and Alabama A&M moved up 1 spot. Hampton dropped 2 places to 6 after their loss to Bethune-Cookman. Alabama State held on to number 7, while FAMU got back into the top 10 at number 8 this week. Tennessee State fell 1 place to 9th, while Albany State resurfaces in the top 10 for the first time since September. That's brought to you by Office Depot. What you need to know. First and 10. 33-yard line for Albany State. That was a 38-yard punt by Jacobs, an 18-yard return by Clinton Rafe. And a pretty good field position for Albany State, the Golden Rams, who come in at 6-1 in the conference, 8-2 overall. James White.
Let go.
Here's our referee for today, Basil Hall, along with his crew. It's assigned by the SIAC and Dr. Moses Norman, their supervisor, who's in attendance here today. First down and 10. On the pitch to the left side. Some running room over here for Atkins and a first down. Make it 9 yards on the run. Out to the 41-yard line.
Great blocking at the point of attack. Offense took it to the defense on the right side defensively. Again, just great running, pure blocking up front. Nearly gaining the first down. They're going to bring the chains out to actually measure to see if they did get the first down and 10.
Well, they're going to measure, but look at this. You're talking about starting out fast. Albany State, including today's touchdown, have outscored their opponents 100-9 in the first quarter. That's putting points up.
I mean, that's putting points up quick. Let's go home. That's what you call quick, fast, and in a hurry. Hit it, quit it, and break away clean.
No question about it. Antonio Atkins came into today's game needing 100 yards rushing for 1,000. He has 7 so far on 2 carries. So there are a lot of things going on between these two teams besides just bragging rights for this Fountain City Classic.
Antonio is only just a freshman.
All right. He's a walk-on. Yes. He didn't even have a scholarship. I asked Coach earlier. I said, he's got one now, doesn't he? He said, you bet. He said he never, he did okay in practice, but you know how some players are practice players and some are game players, and some people are game players, and they practice well but don't play well in games. Well, he's one of these kids that don't practice well,
but he plays well in the game.
Comes up big when it counts.
What a great opportunity he has before him.
Second down and inches. The pitch to Atkins, trying the right side, dips inside, loses yards. And stop defensively.
Again, Charlie.
Number 3, Chris Jacobs.
You can never outplay a defense when it plays on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Watch the white jerseys penetrate here. You got 3, you got to force, you got to feel, and you got to contain, and as a result, you've got a 4-yard loss. Or 3.5 yards.
Sam Evans also there to make the stop. It's 3rd down now. 3rd and about 4. Back to pass. Joyner throws incomplete behind the intended receiver. He was trying to get it to Zontavius Johnson. He just couldn't get to it. It would have been his 11th catch of the year, and it would have been enough for the first down. But instead, they're going to have to punt it away, and that'll bring on the punter, Adrian Arango.
Charlie, I believe Yul Joyner sort of panicked a little bit then. There was a little pressure that was scraping free on the left side defensively, and the ball was thrown outside. Zantavius Johnson had curled inside, and the ball was outside. He couldn't make the body adjustment. 4th down.
Arango with the high punt. Get away from it is what they say. Ball hits an Albany State player and is down at the 31-yard line. And so that's where Fort Valley will go to work with their 5th possession of the afternoon, trailing 7-0.
You asked for it, and we've delivered it. Weeknights at 7 and 11 p.m. Eastern, watch comprehensive news coverage of national and international issues and events from an African-American perspective. Watch MBC Network News, the urban voice, weeknights on MBC Network.
After a 32-yard punt by Rango, Fort Valley going to work, trailing 7-0. John Morgan, who's their head coach, spent 8 years as a defensive coordinator at Bowie State. He played at Bowie State, had 133 tackles in one of his years there. They tried to go to the right side, and James Harris out of Thompson, Georgia, number 44, was there to make sure that Derek Wimbush didn't get loose. No gain on the play.
Got big leather on him, too. Charlie may have gained about 6 inches. As you mentioned, James Harris, good feel at 6'1", 251 pounds. He's a junior. Terrific play on a great ball player.
Minute 25 remaining first quarter here. 7-0 our score. Fort Valley so far today has rushed for 21 yards on 11 attempts. Wimbush has 37, so there's some losses there. Here's a completion to Bailey, the tight end, for a first down. And Bailey is out to the 30, make that the 48, 49-yard line.
Great catch there by the big tight end. Adam Bailey, get a chance to see it again. Caught him in a zone coverage. Linebackers didn't get enough depth. There he is coming over in front of the defensive back behind the linebacker. Good job for first down yardage. Ball is at about the 48-yard line.
17-yard reception for Bailey with his 4th catch of the season. 1st and 10.
Play action.
Stepping up. Good move by the quarterback. And up to the 40 and another first down. Down to the 40-yard line of Albany State goes Cecil Lester. And that's what makes him so dangerous. His footwork in addition to his ability to throw the ball. A player slow getting up for Albany State, and that's Jarvis Davis.
Charlie, again, you see Corey misses here. And again, because of the great footwork that's possessed there by Cecil, avoidability and escapability. I saw him last week, time in and time out, just run out of the would-be hands of outstretched linemen from Kentucky State to keep the drive alive and gain first down and turns.
There's Jarvis Davis, who's down. 27 seconds is the time remaining here in the first quarter, and Davis a little slow getting up there after that play. And now he's walking off, kind of shaking off, coming off under his own power. Jarvis out of Stone Mountain, Georgia. Preseason second-team All-SIAC selection at 6'4", 337.
Big Jarvis Davis, 6'4", 337 junior. He's still got some years to grow.
Yeah, he's still growing. But a first down, and again, it looks like maybe Albany State might keep their defensive scoring record intact in the first quarter with only 18 seconds to go as the clock is running, unless Fort Valley can get in on a big play here. Might be the last play of the first quarter. Wimbush. And Wimbush is down to the 35-yard line, a 5-yard gain on the run. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 5. And that's going to be the end of the first quarter here at Memorial Stadium in Columbus, Georgia, where Albany State took advantage of a bad punt, and Joyner took it in from 4 yards out. And it's 7-0 as we go to the second stanza. We'll be back. As we start the second quarter, the deepest penetration so far today for the goal for the Wildcats, I should say, of Fort Valley State, as they're all the way down to the 35-yard line of the Golden Rams of Albany State. Their previous deepest penetration was to the 49-yard line when they fumbled the ball away. in the first quarter as we start the second quarter. First play, first down, and make it second down and 5 for Fort Valley.
After Wimbush 5 yards on the last carry before the first quarter ended.
Croson gets into the meat of the defense. It's brought down there by Alan Lewis out of Ellenwood, Georgia, number 93.
Gap defense was played then, just playing your gap.
I asked Coach White, I said, what do you do to stop Wimbush and Croson? He said, well, we didn't concentrate on stopping them. It's what they're going to do to stop us.
That's confidence.
And they didn't get into a whole lot of scenarios or what ifs. They said just go out and come in to try to win and wish and hope. Tuskegee
will beat Kentucky
State today. That's right.
Wishing, hoping, planning, and scheming.
And Wimbush, they're all over him. That was a third down play, and they turn him back. And now let's see if Coach goes for it on fourth down, or if Fort Valley decides to try the field goal with Jacobs, who's 10 of 11 in field goals this year. He's kicked a 47-yarder. This one would be about a 50-yard field goal attempt. Now I think they're going to punt it away.
Charlie, they were on him like a cheap suit, particularly Walter Corey and James Harris. Both linebackers are so active there in the middle.
So from the Albany State 33, they're going to punt it away with Jacobs.
Not too good.
He doesn't want it to go into the end zone. They try to bury them, and they do. Now, the man was on the line. It was touched, but when it was touched, the defender was in the end zone, and they could not keep it out of the end zone. Fort Valley, that was Chris Jacobs. Let's look at our student athletes of the week. James Centel Harris from Albany State, a junior from Thompson, Georgia, with a 3.1 grade point average. The linebacker is majoring in health and physical education. And
congratulations.
I'd like to say congratulations to James Harris. Defensive player of the week in the SIAC against Tuskegee this year. First down and 10 from their own 20. Out in the flat, the pass is complete to Clinton Rafe.
Can you hear the popping that's going down on the field? Sounds like popcorn. A pickup of about 3.5 yards on a little quick out.
Clinton Rafe, his 13th reception of the year. You see he came in with 12, averaging 16 yards per catch. He is quick. Senior out of Decatur, Georgia. In motion, Montez. And on the counter play, coming back inside, going to Atkins, and Atkins gets a couple, maybe one, to about the 25-yard line. Defense playing tough. It's been a defensive battle. You know, we talked about Albany State being number 1 in total defense, well, in the nation.
It has been a defensive struggle so far, Charlie.
Fort Valley 17th in that same department.
Without the 3 turnovers, I think we'd have a nothing ball game.
This is a third down play for Joyner. And the ball
was he inbound?
Is
out
incomplete. So they're going to bring up a fourth down punting situation. So, as you said, it's been a defensive battle. Here's a team that's averaging 35 points a game coming in.
Great pressures. You see Ewell have to scramble to his right. That may have been tipped a little bit, but again, good concentration on the receiver here. Get a chance to see him. Good concentration there, but again, out of bounds, incompleted forward pass.
Rango back to punt it away.
End over end.
Travis Floyd had nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
Martha Reeves and the Vandellas.
From their own 45 is where Fort Valley will go to work. First down and 10. We're in the second quarter. 7-0 Albany State. 11:58 is the time remaining.
Plenty, man.
7-0 our score here in the second quarter. Fort Valley and Albany State. Albany State leading. Let's throw down to Rob Jones. Rob?
Hey, from two legends to another legend, former ASU football coach Hamp Smith. Hamp, 9 SIAC championships under your belt. These guys are playing like champions right now.
They're playing some pretty good football, and I'm proud of them. I'm proud for Coach White because, you know, I think he deserved a chance to be the head coach, and he's doing a good job, he and his staff. So I'm very proud of them, and I'm hoping that they keep it up to date so they can beat them, and we got a chance to win the championship.
Now, Coach, you were my golf buddy back in Albany, Georgia. Is that what you're doing with your free time now?
Yeah, I'm, you know, playing golf, you know, out on the golf course and doing the jackleg politicking, you know, trying to help Dr. Adams win the mayor of Albany, you know. So I think, you know, my time is well used.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Hamp Smith, back to you, Charlie.
All right, what a legend in Albany, Georgia. Hamp Smith, who Coach Mike White worked under for many, many years and was his defensive coordinator for 8 years before taking over as the head coach, as Derek Wimbush ran for 12 that time.
Hey, Rob, tell Coach Hamp to send me a dozen of those Pro V1 Titleists, man.
I'm sure he will. Wimbush with the 12-yard run takes the ball down to the 42. So again, Fort Valley is in Albany State territory. They've been knocking at the door. This is the third time they've been across midfield but haven't been able to put it into the end zone. Here's Wimbush. He's trying to put it in there, down inside the 30 now.
Charlie, again, I can't express it enough. He's a special ball player. He has strength, speed, and quickness. And again, the defensive line looks like it's being worn down now. Get a chance to watch it again. If you're in your living room with your popcorns, watch it. Here he comes. Powerful back at 220 pounds. Quickness and speed, and loves to run to daylight.
And he's the lone setback behind the quarterback, Cecil Lester. A 16-yard run now. He has 70 yards on 10 carries. He's averaging 7 per carry in this game so far. Trying to get to the outside, but he's not going to get away from Elliott Bonds out of Corpus Christi, Texas, number 97, who had him wrapped up after he gained about a yard. Our student athlete for Fort Valley State University is Jason Shepard, junior from Douglas, Georgia, offensive tackle, 3.3 grade point average. And this young man is majoring in computer science.
Congratulations to Brother Shepard as well.
From County High in Douglas, Georgia. Second down, 9. Play action. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Adam Bailey. It'll bring up third down. Pressure really being put on the quarterback, Cecil Lester, and James Harris was the man who applied the pressure from the linebacker spot.
Tremendous pressure then. It was a blitz, all-out blitz, man-to-man coverage. Again, the intended receiver, Bentley, was open, but again, because of the pressure, there's no way Lester could have paused and threw an arrow, which he would needed to have to complete that forward pass.
He did a good job just getting it away and not getting it intercepted. Third down and 9. 10 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Decision Saturday it is.
And out there,
the end zone.
Too far, too big for Marcus Bentley. Bring up a fourth down again. Now this time the ball is at the 25. They decided to punt it the last time. They had the ball. They got down to the 33. Let's see if they're going to try for the field goal this time. This will be about a 42-yard field goal attempt.
That last play then?
For Fort Valley. And Jacobs, who has kicked a 47-yarder already this year.
That last play, Cecil had his mind made up. He was going to throw to his intended receiver, who was very well covered. He may have gone to a secondary or third receiver and may have picked up a few yards to keep the drive alive.
So 42-yard field goal attempt by Jacobs, who is 10 of 11 in field goals this season. He's only missed one. Kick is up. It's long enough.
He's got the leg.
And this one is good.
Count it.
42 yards on the field goal by Andrew Jacobs, the junior out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Get a chance to see it again.
And just look at it. He knows it's good. He's going to get beat to death by his holder, though. We'll be back. 7-3 is our score after Jacobs, who's got the ball on the tee for Fort Valley, just hit a 42-yard field goal, his 11th field goal of the season. to put his team on the board at 7-3. Here's a line drive kick, and it goes over the head of it. Boy, I'll tell you, you had no chance. You're going to break a man's hands trying to field that one. Dontrell Williams couldn't get to that one. It'll be brought out to the 20. Don't forget, Saturday, December 20th, the best of the SIAC and the best of the CIAA will meet in ATL for the 2003 Pioneer Bowl, the only postseason battle for domination between two major black conferences. Click on to www.pioneerbowl.com for ticket information. So for Albany State, they get the ball for the second straight time at their own 20-yard line. Let's see what they can do with it. They lead it 7-3. Here's a pitch this side going to Atkins. Atkins trying to cut back against the grain and picks up maybe 2 yards. And that's about it. They're going to mark it at about the 22. As Atkins last week against Morehouse, 240 yards. Remember, I said he needed 100 coming into this game for 1,000.
Correct.
Right now, Mr. Atkins, the rushing department has 6 yards on 5 carries.
Need 94 real quick then, huh?
Yeah. He had 32 receiving also in that game for a total of 272 yards. Here he is again trying to back it outside and cuts it back. He's about a yard shy of a first down before he's finally tackled by Rashard Chisholm. Also in there defending with Jerome Tillery. Third down and 1. Quarterback decides to keep it, and he gets the first down without a problem. Yul Joyner takes it across the 30 to about the 32.
Fine surge by the offensive lineman. They just beat the defense off the ball, and as you mentioned, Charlie, Joyner surges forward, pick up about 3 yards. First down and 10 to keep the drive alive.
With the exception of recovering or making the stop on the bad snap from the center on a fourth down situation, the only time that Albany State has gotten the ball across midfield was when they started in Fort Valley territory. Nothing doing that time. On the run is Sam Evans, the middle linebacker out of Millen, Georgia, and a Georgia Military Community College transfer came up to make the stop on Atkins.
Yes, Sam Evans along with Robert Avery teaming up to make the stop after a 2-yard gain. Bring up second down and 8.
Second down. One lone setback is Atkins behind the quarterback. In motion is Montez. Back to pass. Throwing over the middle. And it's complete to Rafe. Rafe has a first down and he's across the 45 to about the 46, 47-yard line. So Clinton Rafe on the reception is second of the game. He has 14 for the year. Let's look at Mr. Rafe and look at him work against the defense.
Trips as the man comes back in motion. Again, 2 linebackers fall down. They played a little too soft underneath, and as a result, a nice pass and catch combination from Joyner to Rafe for the first down yardage.
14 yards. Here's Atkins trying to get something going, and he gains maybe a half a yard, and that's it. You know, you talk about the beef. Albany State has some beef up front. Let's look at the comparison between the offensive line of Albany State and Fort Valley's defensive line. 324 pounds Albany State averages, and they're 6'4" in height as opposed to 6'2", 274 pounds against the defense of Fort Valley. But Fort Valley's done a pretty good job today.
It's unfair.
Well, one of the things that there's a
pickoff.
And Mayor's point. It was supposed to have been intercepted, but doing a great job was Alvin Ray Jackson to come down with it. The defender had it in his hands, and Alvin Ray picked it up.
What a catch. That's called WBIH, watching ball in hand. Great job. What I thought initially was an interception. Here it is.
Should have been intercepted.
Joyner scrambles left, throws it a little high. Here's the... Oh, he took it away from him.
Shelton Belton was looking for his INT, and we get flags. Shelton Belton had an interception in his hands, and 23 yards later, it was Alvin Ray Jackson with his 31st reception of the year. He just picked it off his hands.
Snap, false start. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Against the offense. Offense is marked back 5 yards from illegal procedure. Not too many penalties in the game.
No, it hasn't been. It's been a very well-played game.
Indeed.
This drive started at their own 20. They're all the way down to the 33-yard line of Fort Valley. 8th play of the drive. 1st and 10, 1st and 15 actually.
He's got pressure. He's got heat.
And he has it complete to the 30-yard line. And on the receiving end of this one was Clinton Sanders, number 8 out of Oceanside, California, his 8th reception of the season.
Here it is. Good pressure applied from the backside. Again, he has to run for his life. He spots an open receiver. Good coverage again. A pickup of 3 yards. It'll bring up 2nd down and 12.
And we have a man shaken up as you look at Clinton Sanders, the stats on him. This young man from Fort Valley, slow getting up, being attended to by the trainers. You know, let's talk about Albany State and how they started the season. You know, they lost to Valdosta State 21-3. They beat Miles 27-12, and then West Georgia 34-7. They lost to Kentucky State in the game we did. They lost by 6, 19-13, and Mike White said, as you look at John Morgan, his counterpart, that might have been a wake-up call for the Albany State Rams, because since that time they've scored, they've won 6 straight games, but more importantly, they've outscored, as you look at the scores of those games and look at the 6 games in which they scored, or they won 6 straight games, they've averaged 46 points a game during that streak and given up only 8.
That's a lot of offense.
It certainly is. 2nd down and 12. Under pressure again. Gets away from a would-be tackler. Still on his feet. Turns the corner. Gets a block. 1st down at the 5 and out of bounds. Goes the quarterback. Yule Joyner. 1st and goal. Make it at the 10. They're going to mark it at the 10.
Get a chance to watch this again. Great job here downfield. This is a coverage scramble that's applied to Yule Joyner, again picking up valuable blocks downfield, advancing the ball as far as he can, finally driven out of bounds by number 8, Robert Avery. 1st down and 10 at the 10-yard line.
They mark it right outside the 10 at the 11, so he can get a 1st down without scoring. Here's Atkins trying to turn the corner, gets inside. He's at the 5 and dropped down at the 5-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 3. They mark it at the 4. So it's 2nd and about 3 for 1st.
The Rams are on the move again. 2 fine plays initiated by quarterback Yule Joyner to get them down near the 10-yard line where they can get a 1st down and 10 without scoring.
Down to the 6-minute mark of the 2nd quarter. That's the time remaining. And here goes Atkins. He's in. Touchdown. He hurdles in. Touchdown, Albany State. So Atkins from 4 yards out with his 11th rushing touchdown this year.
Get a chance to see him go up and over. You're talking about broad jumping. When this guy does a sky jump and catapults his way into the end zone for the 2nd score touchdown of the day for Albany State.
And on for the point after for Albany State, Arango. He's only missed 1 PAT this year. This one is up, and this one is no good. I may have jinxed him on that one.
No, you don't jinx him. He just missed it. You didn't jinx him. He just missed it.
He did miss it. So it's 13-3, a 10-point lead for Albany State. 11-play, 80-yard drive that consumed 4:20 off the clock. Atkins from 4 yards out. Back here in Columbus, Georgia for this 14th Fountain City Classic. This is the 90th year of existence for the SIAC. Clark, Atlanta, and Tuskegee are the only members that will have held continuous membership as we look at that last scoring drive. 11 plays, 80 yards. They used 4:20 off the clock.
Good high kick.
On the return is Travis Floyd. And Floyd out across the 25 to about the 27. Let's go down to Rob Jones.
Hey guys, I'm here with Dr. Lamote, president of Fort Valley State University. Your 2nd year here, you said you guys are moving straight to the top. You feel like the school is going in that direction?
There's no question about it. Most importantly, our academic programs are becoming very, very strong.
We're adding new academic programs. That's the essence of what we're trying to do at the university. But in addition to that, we're trying to make the campus comfortable for students, and we want to make sure that all of our athletic programs are the best that they can be.
Dr. Lamote, talk about your academic program. Your veterinarian program is top-notch, one of only in the state of Georgia.
That's correct. We have a veterinary science program at the associate's degree level and at the baccalaureate degree level. And if you're in the state of Georgia and you want to study veterinary science, you have to come to Fort Valley State. We're very proud of that program and all of the other work that's being done in the College of Agriculture, Home Economics, and allied programs.
As well as dental and medical school, you guys send a lot of students to those programs as well.
Exactly. Among the 34 institutions in the university system of Georgia, we send the most students of African descent to medical and dental school. So we're very proud of that distinction also.
All right, thanks a lot, Dr. Lamote, president of Fort Valley State University. Back to you, Charlie.
All right, 7th president in the history of Fort Valley State, whose motto coming into the season was Fort Valley State University, straight to the top. He's done a good job of trying to accomplish that goal. It was Proson on the last run, gained of about 2 or 3 yards. Now play action. Quarterback in trouble. He's sacked all the way back inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. You're talking about a big loss on the play. That's about a 28-yard loss.
Alan Rashard Lewis applies the pressure. Good job. Just ominous pressure here, Charlie.
Actually make it 29 officially on the loss.
Great heat. You're speaking of Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. He couldn't even disappear. And as a result, a 29-yard loss. 3rd down and plenty.
Their ball is at the 2. To get a first down, he's got to get all the way to the 37. So it is 3rd and 35.
Yeah, leaders for the SIAC, and it was just a tremendous job again there by the defense of Albany State.
Coming into the game, or coming into the season, 35 sacks for Albany State a year ago, and 22 interceptions. This year, 34 sacks coming into today's game, 16 interceptions. In fact, they've returned 4 interceptions, 4 touchdowns. McCray, Felton, Dukes, and Jefferson all have gotten to the end zone by way of the INT. 3rd and 35. Just play it safe, keep the ball on the ground. Fumble! And they got it back. They got it back. They were lucky. It just bounced into a Fort Valley State player's hands. One of the linemen, I believe, came up with it. And to bring up a 4th down situation, and they'll probably punt it away. Remember, this drive started at their own 27, and they're going to be punting from their 5.
Let's see if we can hear that parabola mic with it popping. Can't hear it, but again, great effort there by Winbush, trying to advance the ball upfield as far as he could.
Yeah, one of the offensive linemen saved the day there.
Indeed. Number 38 defensively for Albany State, Terrence Hawk popped it out with his helmet.
Jacobs standing deep in his own end zone. Here comes the rush.
Great hit.
What a kick. What a kick. Rafe all the way back to the 45. What a kick.
He was looking instead of running.
And Rafe.
He really did not kick coverage then.
Right. Again, about a 10-yard or a 12-yard return, but what a punt. 51 yards.
Outstanding hit here. Now watch who's covering, Charlie, on this play. Number 2, Derek Winbush. Here he is, number 2, starting fullback. He started looking instead of running at Rafe, looking for that peeled back block.
I don't blame him.
Yes. Those hurt. Good job on coverage.
So great field position for Albany State at the 43 of Fort Valley. 1st and 10.
2 minutes, 48 seconds. Here's an option.
Atkins has the pitch, but he hasn't turned the corner because he can't get away from number 22, Cedric Ware.
Loss of about 4 yards.
Don't forget, coming up at halftime, our Office Depot Battle of the Bands. You'll get a chance to see both the bands from Albany State and Fort Valley perform for you at halftime. You want to be here for the Office Depot halftime battle of the bands. Second down after a loss of 5 and 15. On the option to the right side, then reversing the field. Joyner now, he's going to throw it. Has a man wide open. First down, still on his feet. And out of bounds is Octavius Johnson. Zontavius with the reception today. Zontavius with his first reception of the afternoon. His 11th of the season. The first down and 10, Albany State.
Yul Joyner doing what he does best here. Goes to his right, finds opposition, peels back to his left.
He could have ran that one, huh?
Zontavius again didn't break his pattern. He continued in the pattern. Pick up a 15 yards, first down and 10.
And now a timeout being called by Fort Valley.
Very, very, very worthwhile timeout to calm his ball players down.
It's not your typical boxing match. They're not your typical fighters. And the ballroom isn't your typical setting, but it all comes together Friday nights right here on NBC. Don't miss another round of ballroom boxing. That's where the rookies earn their bragging rights and the veterans defend their turf. Watch ballroom boxing Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern on MBC Network. Charlie Neal along with Lem Barney and Rob Jones. Capacity crowd on hand here. People are sitting on the grass. This was an Olympic venue. This was an opening ceremonies for the 1996 softball Olympics. Back in 96 when the Olympics were headquartered in Atlanta. But this is one of the venues here. Let's go down to Rob Jones.
Hey guys, earlier in this period, Jarvis Davis of Albany State, number 90, was undercut. Now, he already has a partially tear of his right knee. He re-injured that knee, but he told me he will come back into the ball game.
All right.
Good news.
It is good news. Here's the pitch to the right side. Here's Atkins down to the 10. 5. Can he get to the end zone? Yes. Touchdown, Albany State. 24 yards on the run. Make it 23. His second rushing touchdown today. (19-3) our score. Under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. For the point after Arango, he missed the last time out. This one is true, and it's 20-3. Let's look at it once again and watch Mr. Atkins with the 23-yard run.
Great job here by Antonio Atkins. Good job of running himself. Broken field running, cuts back across the grain, almost slips, maintains his balance, and gets it into the end zone. Get a chance to watch it again. Here it is. Good defense here. It's an option pitch. One man faked out, lost some accoutrements here. A left move, almost loses his balance. Again, maintains his balance. Gets it into the end zone for his back-to-back score.
2 touchdowns back-to-back for Albany State have given them a 17-point advantage, 20-3. And for Mr. Atkins, there you see him here, Antonio.
Yeah, man. Ireman.
From Jessup, Georgia. Came into the game needing 100 yards. He's only 55 shy of hitting 1,000 for the season. More importantly, he has 2 rushing touchdowns today, giving him 12 for the year, and his team is out in front by a score of 20-13. That drive didn't take long. 3 plays, 43 yards, 55 seconds, and they got into the end zone real quickly, and that was that was really interesting how they got in there. They got the long pass down the field, and then they get the good run there. Charlie Neal along with Lem Barney and Rob Jones here in Columbus, Georgia. Fort Valley in their white and blue. Albany State, the home team, in the blue and silver.
Battle of the Bands coming up here. Onside kick.
Onside kick. And a flag is down, probably offsides against Albany State.
What a great time to pull it. Orange is the man that recovered. Looked like he's coming up limping. His right leg.
Kickers have no business recovering anything.
No, they're not the best athletes on the field now.
Kicking team offside. Offside right here. All right, we need to re-kick that one.
Certainly do need to re-kick it.
There's our referee, Basil Hall.
Get a chance to watch it again. There he is. Couldn't see that number. He was so far down the field, I couldn't see his number.
He hurt himself recovering his own kick.
Yes.
That's why I say he had no business down there.
His right leg.
He's
right
still
lower leg.
Working on his ankle, in the ankle area.
Tibley.
Now will he be able to kick it off again? Remember, he's a guy who's done a pretty good job. Arango, a field goal, 71% in field goal attempts, 97%. He missed one PAT today. He came into the game only 43 or 44. He's 44 or 46 so far right now for the season.
He's walking quite gingerly on it. Tibia and fibula, the lower leg there. Hope he's okay. We got number 15 warming up, Matthews Hawthorne.
He's a backup.
Freshman out of Savannah, Georgia.
Backup kicker. So let's see who's going to kick it. It's going to be Hawthorne who's going to come in to kick it off right now. Matt Hawthorne, number 15. We'll put it on the tee. After things, you might want to say, backfired a little bit on Albany State in terms of the kicking aspect of that.
Big time. Now, they knew they was going to try an onside kick. Now, why should a man be offside? It's hard for me to understand that. I'm sure coach is asking the same thing. As a result, they're
kicking again, but a 5-yard penalty. Minute 53 remaining in the first half here in Columbus, Georgia.
We should have good field position here.
Albany State out in front, 20-3.
Conventional style kicker.
Floyd.
Reverse.
And that's a fake reverse.
We got some room.
Floyd, he's got to beat the kicker. Gets inside.
Nope, got a
cuts
penalty.
it back.
Got a penalty, Charlie. Whatever happens.
And
got a penalty.
The penalty marker is way back at the 30-yard line as Floyd gets it all the way inside the 25 to the 23, but it's not going to matter because we're going to bring it back.
Holding or clip.
Illegal block in the back against the return team. Boy, that's a downer.
I mean, a way downer.
You hate to see those flags when you have great returns.
Yes, you do. And it occurs here to the right side. Good fake reverse here.
Yeah, they sure had everybody going
Travis
left.
Floyd faked to reverse, picked up some valuable blocking here. He's deadly on returns. There it is, the push in the back.
That's it.
That was it.
And they didn't even need it.
Get a chance to see it. Didn't need it at all.
He didn't even need it. That was the thing about it.
Nope. That's laziness right there.
They could have gotten away without it. But then again, the man who got pushed was probably facing the defender when
it was. His back was already turned to the.
And then he turned around after the commitment was made. Meanwhile, it's still Fort Valley's ball, first down and 10 at their own 20. Now we have a penalty, either false start or offsides. Let's see, 3 flags thrown. Both line judges and the umpire.
Prior to the snap, offense, false start, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
From the 15, it'll be first and 15. Back to pass, out in the flat. Trying to get it to Wimbush, and Wimbush gains nothing. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all he's going to get. Let's look at our Chrysler Jeep Player of the Week, brought to you by Jeep. And it's Derek Wimbush. This is what he did a week ago against Kentucky State. Just 216 yards, a touchdown, including an 80-yard run. That proved to be the game winner. Derek Wimbush, the junior from Malk, Georgia, transfer from Georgia Military Community College, is our Chrysler Jeep Player of the Week, brought to you by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep 4x4. There he is. Young man, he's started out pretty good, but he's been held in check lately. He's 12 carries, 73 yards. As I said earlier, 5 games over 100 yards so far this season for Derek Wimbush. As you look at Mike White, whose defensive team has done a pretty good job against Fort Valley so far today. Only 83 yards they've allowed all game long on 32 plays, while his counterpart, John Morgan, first year, 11th coach in the history of Fort Valley, played at Bowie State. Some of the future players may be wearing the Blue Machine offense or the Dirty Blue defense of Albany State. That's what they call it, the Dirty Blue.
Yes.
And the handoff, bouncing outside. This is a different running back in the lineup right now for Fort Valley.
Oh, that might be a penalty there.
But they didn't, no flag. I can't believe they didn't throw a flag on that.
I can't either.
That was Terrico Troop on the carry, and Troop gets the first down on the long run, but that's his first carry of the game, but I can't believe they didn't throw a flag on that.
I can't either. I wanted to throw something from out of the booth. Great run here. Would-be tackler. Another would-be tackler. Oh, yeah, that was mugging him out of bounds.
23-yard run for Terrico Troop. That's his longest run of the season. First down and 10. From the shotgun again is Lester, who is back to pass, throws it. It should have been intercepted, could have been on the far sideline, and it goes incomplete. And it'll bring up second down with 1:12 remaining in the first half.
That's a long ways to throw an out pattern. He was on the left hash mark and has to try and throw it 40 yards back to the right side. Again, it was too high. You mentioned it should have been intercepted.
That'll bring up a second down. They come to the near side. They bring Marcus Bailey. One lone setback with the quarterback. That's Wimbush going long. Throws it out there. Just a little bit too far. It was a nice effort, and he did beat his man, and that was Takwa Thrasher, who's their leading receiver, coming in with 30 receptions. He just turned on the jet at the end, but just didn't have enough to get to it.
Didn't have enough to get to it. On a frozen rope, had he put a little more air under it, it perhaps would have given Takwa Thrasher an opportunity to run under it. But again, fine throw. It lets you know about the arm of Cecil.
Oh, he can throw it now. Cecil Lester was out for a while. As I said, he came into the game with 1,993 career passing yards, 15 touchdowns. He's a senior from Vienna, Georgia. Went to Dooley County High. He's only played in the 7th game of the season. This is third down, 3rd and 10. He wants to throw it, run it. Can he get there? He's going to be short
by 3 yards.
At the 46-yard line. Now Albany State's going to call a timeout because they want to get the ball back with still time, 56 seconds remaining in the first half.
Get a chance to look at it again. It's a quarterback draw, design, designated play all the way. Again, wasn't enough white shirts over to counteract the blue shirts, the dirty blues that was there. The blue defense, again, comes up with a timely stop. Brings up 4th down. I don't know if they're going to punt it. 56 seconds remaining in this, the second quarter. Albany State on top, 20-3.
Well, we talked about the fact that Fort Valley only allowed 9 points in the first quarter this year. Well, they've outscored their opponents over 200-47. Make it 50 in the first half.
Now, since the 3 points on the board.
Right. Well, what makes a classic? The memorable plays, the outstanding players. Well, NBC Sports Classic features both. Enjoy a replay of the best black college football and basketball games with NBC Sports. You can tune in every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time for NBC Sports Classics.
Catch us on NBC.
4th down. We're going to see Jacobs back on the punting side of the football.
On Decision Saturday.
lot of decisions being made today.
Indeed.
Kentucky State and Tuskegee playing. Virginia Union and Fayetteville State. CIAA championship.
Great job here.
Jacobs can kick it.
Yeah, and was fumbled.
And fielded.
Ooh. And popped.
That is Alvin Ray Jackson on the return. Back to the 17-yard line.
What strategy will they come up with? 43 seconds remaining in the first half.
44-yard punt. So Jacobs has done a fairly good job for Fort Valley in the punting department. He's averaging 40.7 yards on 3 punts so far this afternoon. After that snafu early in the game in which he had the bad snap and couldn't get it off and was tackled for a big loss, he's done a very good job.
That was a muff punt snap as well from the center to the punter. Good job by the punter in gaining a handle on it and getting it off. First down and 10.
43 seconds to go in the half. Keeping it on the ground, Atkins. And the clock continuing to run. Atkins already with a pair of touchdowns in the game on 12 carries and 45 yards. John Morgan for Fort Valley State, tied for the most wins by a first-year coach in the history of the Wildcats of Fort Valley, and that is 7 coming into today's game. Here's Atkins again. And Atkins has a first down across the 15 or 25 to about the 27. And the clock stops with 11 seconds to go as they move the chains. As soon as they change the set, they'll move the clock.
That's it.
And there should be no more plays here in the first half as they go to the locker room. It's been Albany State, both defensively and offensively, as they lead it by a score of 20-3. It was Jackus with a 42-yard field goal. It's the only score for Fort Valley, while Joyner's 4-yard run, Atkins with a 4-yard run, and Atkins with a 23-yard run have put the Golden Rams of Albany State up 20-3, and Rob Jones is with a very happy Mike White.
Coach, you took advantage of their early miscues and put a lot of points on the board. Things are going exactly the way you wanted to so far.
Good first half. Hope we can play better second half.
Putting a lot of containment on Derek Winbush.
Cecil and both of those backs are tough. It's going to be a hard day's work, and we know we got a good second half. We got to play, so good first half. Let's go get second half.
Balanced attack so far, running the ball. Yule's running and throwing. That's the game plan, I'm sure, for the second half.
Yes, it is. We hope to come back and run the ball to get Antonio going. Again, stop Cecil and those 2 running backs over there and see what we can do in the second half.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, that's the way we stand at halftime. Mike White's team up by 17, 20-3, and we'll see what kind of strategy they have. That is Fort Valley for the second half to get back in this one. They're only down 17 points. Back with our halftime Battle of the Bands. Stay with us.
Coach, you took advantage of their early miscues and put a lot of points on the board. Things are going exactly the way you wanted to so far.
Good first half. Hope we can play better second half.
Putting a lot of containment on Derek Winbush.
Cecil and both of those backs are tough. It's going to be a hard day's work, and we know we got a good second half. We got to play, so good first half. Let's go get second half.
Balanced attack so far, running the ball. Yule's running and throwing. That's the game plan, I'm sure, for the second half.
Yes, it is. We hope to come back and run the ball to get Antonio going. Again, stop Cecil and those 2 running backs over there and see what we can do in the second half.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
All right, that's the way we stand at halftime. Mike White's team up by 17, 20-3, and we'll see what kind of strategy they have. That is Fort Valley for the second half to get back in this one. They're only down 17 points. Back with our halftime Battle of the Bands. Stay with us. The Battle of the Bands is brought to you by Office Depot. Office Depot, what you need to know. Back here at halftime at the Fountain City Classic. Down on the field, the Blue Machine Marching Band of Fort Valley State under the direction of Leonard Giles. The Dancing Dolls are the young ladies dancing with the band. Let's enjoy Fort Valley State University's Marching Machine. Blue marching machine from Fort Valley State University under the direction of Leonard Giles. We're at halftime at the Fountain City Classic. Back with more of our Battle of the Bands in just a moment. As we continue with our halftime Battle of the Bands, our marching Rams show band from Albany State University under the direction of Michael DeQueer. The dancers are the Passionettes. Let's go down and enjoy the marching Rams show band from Albany State. Marching Rams Showtime Band here at halftime at the Fountain City Classic. This halftime show has been brought to you by Office Depot. Office Depot, what you need to know. Back here at halftime in Columbus, Georgia at the Memorial Stadium, the 14th Fountain City Classic, where Albany State is enjoying a 20-3 halftime lead over the Wildcats of Fort Valley. Welcome back to halftime here. Charlie Neal along with Lem Barney. Lem, first of all, it's a pleasure working with you once again. It's been a while.
I love you, too. It's been a couple of years, though. We've been together about 22 years.
A long time.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the first half a little bit. Your thoughts, especially for Fort Valley getting back in this.
Well, I think Fort Valley, in order for them to get back in, they can not turn that ball over as they did. They had a compilation of turnovers there in the first half. Only one really led to a touchdown. But mishandling the ball, again, they've got to get that aerial assault going again, and then Wimbush has to get on track.
Yeah, let's look at some of the first half stats and see how they play out right now. You've got Fort Valley, and for us first downs, they're pretty even.
Even they are eight first downs apiece to rushing yards. There's not too much disparity. Albany State 91-74 to Fort Valley. The biggest score there is the total yardage, 188 to 115, and again that margin is 2 touchdowns again, and only a field goal by Fort Valley State. And if again they're going to get into this ball game, this second half, they're going to have to put some points on the board. This halftime, first half stats were brought to you by Geico. Thank you.
All right, Lem. Kind of interesting when you look at the overall yardage and the fact that, of course, a couple of rushing touchdowns already by Albany State, and they will be kicking off to start the second half. Fort Valley will get the ball to start the second half. Fort Valley, if you remember, won the opening toss and deferred, decided to kick off and play defense early on in the ball game. So they'll get the ball to start the second half. Remember, Albany State's kicker, Rango, got hurt, so Matt Hawthorne is the man kicking off. And the return out across the 30 to the 35-yard line. And here's the first half highlights. It started with a bad snap here. Jenkins couldn't handle it, and they gave Albany State great field position, and then they took advantage of it. That is with Yule Joyner taking it in from 4 yards out. And then a couple of miscues for Fort Valley. They had trouble handling the ball, but then Jenkins comes through with a 42-yard field goal, the only score for Fort Valley in the game. And here, again, the pass downfield, and it's caught. And we didn't finish the first half highlights, but
here he goes. Here he goes, Charlie.
Derek Wimbush.
Here he goes.
Unless he is caught.
Here he goes, Charlie.
Touchdown.
I said he runs to daylight. Again, they shouldn't be this tired right now, but a big play by Derek Wimbush.
Boy,
early going.
He gets it going early and quick, doesn't he?
Indeed.
One play.
One play, he gets it into the end zone, Charlie. It's about a 60-some-yarder. 67-yard touchdown rush, virtually untouched by human hands, goes Derek Wimbush again.
And he goes over 100 yards for the 6th time this year with that rush. That gives him 140 yards for the game. Jenkins on for the point after. That's a good way to start the second half. It's good. And before you can sit down and eat your hot dog from halftime, it's 7 points on the board. And it's 20-10.
Most of Albany State fans has a acid indigestion. Again, here's Wimbush doing what he does best, rushing to daylight. Gets it into the end zone. They are down 10-20.
Well, it didn't take them long to get on the scoreboard. 9 seconds to be, or make that 19 seconds to be exact, as the second half kickoff return, good field position, and then Wimbush with his rushing touchdown for 67 yards. That's his 13th touchdown of the season.
You could see it coming, Charlie. He was trying to break free all the first half, couldn't get it couldn't get things on track because of the tenacious defense that was employed there by the Golden Rams.
Williams Donfrio out of bounds at the 12, 13-yard line. So that's where Albany State will get the ball for the first time in the second half. You talk about Wimbush and what he's done this season, the 5 100-yard games. He scored in all but 2 games. And when you look back at the game against Miles, it's a game in which Fort Valley lost 30-13. They also lost to Benedict 21-19. So in games in which he did not score were games in which Fort Valley lost. Atkins trying to turn the corner. Atkins brought down before he could turn the corner. And on the stop defensively is Chris Jacobs, the left cornerback out of Atlanta's Westlake High. They're wearing number 3. Moved from wide receiver during the season. Yes, he started out the season as a wide receiver. And he's come up and showing what it's like to play defense.
Yeah, they should put a double 0 on the front of that 3 because he's certainly a trained killer with license to kill.
From the shotgun, Joyner, like he's changing the play.
Audible.
He's got a gap there between guard and center. They're trying to go to on the option this side. Atkins nowhere to go. They read it well, and Sam Evans was there to make sure he didn't turn the corner.
Along with Roderick Morris. Big 99. Sort of dangerous there. Sort of flirtative here. Again, Charlie, you saw it. Here it is. Starts the option. Good force, good feel. Here's the containment coming. And again, Atkins down to the ground for a loss of about 2 yards. We'll call it 3rd and about 12.
Sometimes a pitch in that area of the field, if it can be disastrous if it doesn't work. If it does, it's great.
Yes.
On 3rd and 11.
Good
Joyner.
Protection here.
Under pressure,
down.
sacked for the first time today.
Fumble. He can't pick it up, can he?
Well, they're going with it. Let's see what the officials say.
They coming downfield. They didn't drop a beanbag anything. Obviously, he can.
Well, it looked like it was disaster for Albany State, and somehow they managed to turn what looked like disaster into success.
Antonio Atkins again recovered it. Get a chance to see it again. He's got ominous pressure. Good coverage sack here. There it is. Just picked up.
Atkins just was alert.
Yes.
That's a smart play, and he makes something out of it. Gets it all the way down to the 37-yard line, and we're going to have a false start. Wimbush actually has 137 yards rushing today on 13 carries. Antonio Atkins has 57 yards on 14 carries.
Offense prior to the snap. False start. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So again, a penalty against in a game that's been pretty penalty-free. That's only the 2nd penalty against Albany State today, or 3rd penalty actually against Albany State today.
Got heat, big heat.
Throwing it away. Now, is that intentional grounding or not? They say there's a player in the vicinity, and that was Atkins.
Yeah, the whole team is
over there. But there's a flag on the far side of the field. Let's see what the flag on the far side. It could be against Fort Valley.
Maybe offensive offside.
No, I believe it's defense.
Defensive offside. Get a chance to watch it again. I didn't see anybody jump from that angle.
One of the games that's of interest to people here in this stadium is what's happening in Tuskegee, Alabama, between Kentucky State and Tuskegee, and in the 3rd quarter, Kentucky State leading at 14-7. Howard lost to Bethune earlier today in Washington, D.C. So Bethune needs a big win, big game next week in Orlando against FAMU as Atkins is up to the 45. We're to bring up a third down. Third and about 2. Let's go down to Rob.
Hey, Albany State kicker Adrian Arango, he's done for the game in the second quarter. He had his right ankle sprain, so the kicking and punting duties will lay on the leg of Matthew Hawthorne. He has to carry the load for the rest of the ball game.
All right, thank you, Rob. And he wasn't even hit. He just hurt himself falling down on what was supposed to be an onside kick as Yul Joyner goes straight into the gut of the defense and gets into Fort Valley territory inside the 45 to the 43-yard line on a 1st and 10. And again, we have to go back to that play where it looked like a sack, and Atkins just was smart enough to pick that ball up and turn what was disaster into a first down.
Indeed, Charlie. A great play on the behalf of Atkins, and again, kept the drive alive. Here he is again.
Atkins, and he's brought down before he can get a head of steam going there by Horace Frazier. Also down there, Josh Scott defensively, number 29 on the stop. Josh out of Statesboro, Georgia. As you look at Atkins.
Broke the 100 now. 17 rushes for
101 yards. So he has 1,000 yards. We say congratulations to Antonio Atkins, the true freshman, playing a pretty good ball game. He has a pair of touchdowns to go along with those 100 and some yards today. Anthony Anderson, who came in as a running back, number 56. The linebacker made the stop. He has a career interception, moved over to the defensive side of the ball. So we have a couple of them come over here.
Big down here for Fort Valley.
Third down for Albany State. And Albany State getting the first down. It's going to be close.
Charlie, even when it is close, they're still going to get it. You know,
yeah, it is first down.
You made the point in the second quarter when you showed the measurements of the offensive line of Albany State versus the size of the defense.
If you go straight ahead,
you got the yardage. They were 2 inches taller and about 35 pounds heavier than each man. There we go.
First down. Here's Atkins trying to turn and go to the right side, and Atkins is met by a host of white jerseys, and they're led by Sam Evans over there. Sam Evans, Jerome Tillery, all there to make the stop, along with Anthony Anderson. You talk about some of the people who came out of Fort Valley, people like Greg Lloyd and Eddie Anderson. When I mentioned Anthony, it reminded me of Eddie Anderson. Rayfield Wright.
Fort Valley, yes. Dallas Cowboys. Super Cat.
10-13 left in the third. Is second down and 9. Atkins again. Cuts it back inside. Atkins didn't have much running room as Rashard Chisholm was the man who came up to make the stop. You have a couple players that are playing right now in the NFL from Fort Valley. You have Tyrone Poole. You have Nick Harper, Pepe Zellner. In fact, Nick Harper, 5 tackles versus Miami a couple weeks ago in that Colts win, and 6 tackles against Jacksonville in the Colts loss a week ago.
Very well represented.
Personal foul is going to be whistled against Albany State. And there you go, from the SIAC to the NFL. Fort Valley, the 3 players. Tyrone Poole's with New England, and we mentioned Nick Harper be with the Indianapolis Colts. Pepe Zellner with the Washington Redskins. On the other side, Kenyon Nash from Albany State's with the Oakland Raiders, but he's not active. He's on the practice squad right now. But that's pretty impressive from these 2 schools.
Indeed. Very well represented.
So to bring up a third down and 20 for Albany State. Ball pushed back outside the 40. And here they come. They tried to screen inside, and not much there for Alvin Ray Jackson. And he was met by the freight train, and we call him Chris Jacobs, a former receiver to a receiver. So to bring up 4th down. And that'll bring on the punter. We haven't seen much of Matthew Hawthorne. Matt Hawthorne, as Rob just told you a while ago, will come on to do the kicking. And why is Albany State waiting till Fort Valley gets their people on the field. I don't understand that.
This is benevolence, man. This is a benevolent game, man. Come on, Charlie. Come on.
I'll wait till you get lined up and ready to go.
I love you. They said I love you. Great effort there.
Fair catch being called for by Floyd. He makes it at the 12. And that's where Fort Valley will go to work. They trail this particular ball game by 10, 20-10. We're in the third quarter in Columbus, Georgia, with 8:55 remaining. .8:55 remaining in the third quarter here in Columbus, Georgia, Fort Valley and Albany State. And here's our Geico Trivia question of the week. Hamp Smith coached Albany State 24 years before retiring. How many SIAC titles did he win? Well, log on to your answer and go onto our website at www.nbcnetwork.com and become eligible for a special sports prize package. First down and 10 at their own 13. Fort Valley with the ball right now. Trying to get to the outside this time. Here's Wimbush, and he's brought down. Curry got a hold of him, and Curry was not going to let go.
Good job defensively by the right side there. Good force by the end. Good feel by the linebacker. And he had a help from his friends coming up from the secondary.
He certainly did, and some of the people helping William Felton came up and made a good defensive play there after the loss of 7.
Indeed. You see the pursuit, that's the help coming. The force is there, the feel is there, and on comes the pursuit. Good defensive job on the right side defensively for the blue defense.
8:15 the time remaining. It is in the third quarter, 2nd and 17. Wimbush again, trying the left side this time. He'll go right, he'll go left.
And he'll go straight up the middle.
And he'll break one on you like he did earlier.
67 yards.
First play of the second half. Well, first play of the second half, he went 67 for 6. He had reservations for 6. He made sure he answered it.
First class, they were first class as well. Third and about 13.
He'd like to get a couple more reservations. Wide open in the middle of the field.
DB fell down. Good job.
Certainly did. And Antonio Hughes gets up to the 30 and a first down for Fort Valley. And Antonio Hughes with the reception. A sophomore out of Towers High in Stone Mountain, Georgia.
Get a chance to see if we can see the DB who fell down. Good job here. Good pattern. You can see him falling, but a great route.
That was Jermaine Collins who fell.
By Hughes. Great job. The ball still would have been caught. Fine job. Good throw from number 7, Cecil Lester, to his intended receiver. First down and 10. Ball's at the 30.
22-yard catch by Antonio Hughes. His first reception of the ball game. His 4th of the season. Adam Bailey in motion, trying to go straight ahead. They're keeping the ball on the ground once again. That's their bread and butter with Derek Wimbush. And Wimbush not happy with some of the stuff the defense is doing to them down there. And he gets up talking to the defense.
Indeed.
Gain of 2, 2nd and 8. Wimbush over 100 yards for the 6th time this season. There you see the stats on him, 136 plus a touch.
Well, you mentioned, Charlie, it's the 14th annual Fountain City Classic, so there's some rivalry here. I'm sure there's some talking going on. Wide open field.
Quarterback keeps it. And he's run out of bounds on the near sideline by Andropoulos Williams, the linebacker.
What a big, important game this is to have the occasion to come ahead and join ranks in this conference championship race.
It certainly is. And again, as a lot of it hinges as we get up a third down and about 1 or 2, make it 3rd and 2 for Fort Valley. One of the things that everybody's watching is what's going on in Tuskegee, Alabama today between Kentucky State and Tuskegee. Short yardage. 3rd and 2. We got offsides, I think offsides, unless they were drawn off. Let's see what happens. Fort Valley. Let's see if They were drawn off, or
What we got?
it's encroachment. What we got?
What we got?
Big man wants to know.
Defense offside.
On the defense. Prior to the snap, defense. Offside. 5 yards.
So that gives them a first down.
Automatic first down. Needed 3. Here it is. It may have been the rhythm of the cadence by Lester. Again, you got 3 guys jumping.
You got everybody jumping.
The coach jumped on the sideline.
44-yard line. First down and 10. Wimbush, the lone setback behind the quarterback, Lester.
Got to be a run.
Off the right side goes Wimbush. Shakes one tackle.
Got to be a run.
Gets around the corner, but not before he picks up good yardage. Finally, Chris Henderson was the man that made the stop defensively for Albany State, but not before a 9-yard gain for Derek Wimbush. 17th leading rusher in the NCAA Division II from Malk, Georgia. Went to Georgia Military Community College. He had 1,126 yards in 1 year up there at Malk. Well, he said, the heck with that. I can do better than that over here. He came into today's game with 1164, and he's already
over 100.
Over 100 in this one.
Indeed.
5 minutes, 20 seconds of time remaining. Third quarter. And here's the backup Troop. Troop
gets back to the line of scrimmage.
And that's it. Terrico Troop, his second carry of the day. Number 35 out of Dry Branch, Georgia. Let's go down to Rob.
Earlier I talked to Hamp Smith. He's a legend here at Albany State University. But we have 2 legends in the booth. Esteemed announcer Charlie Neal and Hall of Famer Lynn Barney. Those 2 guys started together broadcasting games in 1980. Probably the longest broadcasting tandem in the business, 22 years. They stopped for a while, resumed in 2001. Funny story, and I'll get to it after this play.
Back together again.
Here's Troop trying to get to the first down marker, and he's not going to get there.
All right, guys, back in 1982, Washington, D.C., Charlie Neal and Lynn Barney doing a football game, Black College All-Star game, and it was freezing. Charlie Neal, he came prepared, fur coat, hat, gloves, scarf. Lim played in Detroit, but he had on a flimsy trench coat, and he froze his backside off.
Charlie said I had on a pimp coat, man.
It was more than flimsy.
I know that's right. I know that's right. I know I froze my tuchus off, man.
I will remember that always.
Indeed.
It is a 4th and 1 situation now. Let's see what Fort Valley does.
They're going for it.
The Otis Covington is the offensive coordinator. He was the offensive coordinator with John Morgan at Bowie State. He brought him with him when he got the head coaching job. Now let's see if they're going to call a timeout. They may have to talk things over because
time was expiring.
Yeah, they were going to get a penalty and was going to put them out of first down range. So let's look at why this game is so important, not only for these 2 teams, but for Kentucky State as well, who's on top. They must win today over Tuskegee down in Tuskegee. They were leading at last report 14-7, and they would wrap up their first ever SIAC championship. Should Kentucky State lose and Albany State wins this game, they win the SIAC championship, their 10th of their career, while Fort Valley doesn't really have a chance, although in a tiebreaker situation.
There is a chance.
Yeah,
feasible.
I mean, there's a possibility that it could be a 4-way tie, but I believe Miles was beaten today, or the last report was losing to Morehouse, so that makes it a 3-way tie with Fort Valley, Albany State. So there are a lot of scenarios going on right now, but you see this is a tight race in the SIAC. Now this month, MBC Network rolls tape on another movie classic, the all-black musical. It's called Broken Strings. When a renowned concert violinist loses the use of his hand, all the things he holds dear suffer as a result of his inability to cope with the injury. Will his love of music and love of family help the healing begin? Don't miss the 1940s classic featuring Clarence Muse, Stymie. For November Music Classic.
What a compassionate movie. I must see that movie.
4th down 1. Big yardage. Can they get there?
Yes.
He got it.
Yes.
All the way to the 45. Stumbling forward was Derek Wimbush. Boy, I'll tell you, that was a determined run because he was hit.
Yes.
For no gain.
He was met 1.5 yards in the backfield, Charlie. Watch this. Here it is. Ball is handed up. Boom. Opposition there. Great leg drive. Stayed low. Kept his legs driving. First down yardage gain.
And you know, why not? Who do you give it to?
The man who you brought to the dance.
That's right. And they're just changing dance partners now.
Not at all, brother. Not at all.
First down and 10. Fort Valley, now we get a flag.
Procedure.
Offense, delay of the game, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's a bad procedure after first down yardage.
So it'll be 1st and 15 after the 5-yard penalty. That's only the 4th penalty of the day against Fort Valley. Only 10 penalties in the game. 2:56, here we go. Lester going upstairs.
That's too big. That's too big.
Almost caught off the shoulder pads of Tequa Thrasher.
And almost intercepted.
And now the quarterback is hurt.
Lester. Looked like he might have cramps.
Looking at his foot.
He may have cramps.
He threw that a mile.
He threw it a mile and a half. Good job, good coverage, good close here by the DB.
Had the ball stayed more in the middle of the field, though, he might have had a better chance at it because he had to veer back to get it.
Yeah, he must have cramps. He wasn't hit. I think that's a cramp hobble. I've had those hobbles before.
And in to replace him is Joe Sapp, sophomore out of Atlanta from Richmond Academy. Played in just 6 games. Number 11. He's in there as the backup right now. Gives it off to Wimbush.
Yes, sir.
Wimbush, first down, saving tackle. Down there.
I tell you, Charlie.
I believe it was on the saving tackle, number 6, Chris Henderson.
He's special. I tell you. He's a special ball player.
Now that's Jaleel Muhammad, not Joe Sapp in there, quarterback. Number 19 rather than number 11. I'm corrected from Detroit Northern High.
Homeboy, got to give it up to him, man. Let's give it up to him. But a great job again by this special running back.
There's the numbers on Jaleel Muhammad. He's played in just 4 games this year. He's thrown 1 touchdown pass, has not thrown an interception. Fumbles. And now another fumble. And now wisely Wimbush just falls on it to save the day.
And he's injured because he got a knee in the back. He got a knee in the back.
And that'll bring up a 4th down, and that'll bring on the punter, Jacobs. This drive started at their own 13.
A little nervous. Then he pitches it behind him. Watch the knee in the back. See it? Now that wasn't real fair play by a potential All-American there in number 50.
Curry.
Walter Curry. I mean, he could have averted putting the knee right in his back.
Punt situation on 4th and 11. That was the 8th play of the drive.
Good hit. Good hit.
And it goes out of bounds at the 1. You're talking about the coffin corner kick.
That was it. Unintentional.
You can't get any more coffin than that. 49 yards on the punt. And we'll be back. We're in Albany, Georgia's territory. They'll have the ball. They lead it 20-10. Great crowd on hand here in Columbus, Georgia for this Fountain City Classic. Our Rob Jones has a special guest down on the field.
That's right, and that special guest is Madam President, Dr. Portia Shields of Albany State University. Centennial year for you guys. Talk about the celebration.
A wonderful celebration. Everybody came out. It was the biggest one. All the stores sold out of food. It was a great celebration. 100 years.
100 years of great academic success as well.
Absolutely.
Talk about the forensic science program, one of only in the state of Georgia.
The only one in the state of Georgia. We're preparing our students to be whatever they want to be, either in the police area, FBI, CIA, or any of that. It's a very popular science program at this time.
Now, the last game we did, we talked about the new stadium. What's the progress of the stadium?
The stadium is finished, but we had a few details to take care of, so we didn't put our students in there for the last game, but we'll be ready for the first game in the fall.
All right, thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Madam President of Albany State University.
Dr. Portia Shields, she became the school's 7th president back in 1997. Also the school's first female president, doing wonderful things in Albany, Georgia.
Indeed. And forensic science has got to be a great program here.
1st and 10, Albany State from the 1.
Great defensive field position for Fort Valley. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. Albany State backed up to their own 1-yard line.
Ewell is changing signals here.
And Atkins caught in the backfield but stumbled out across the goal line. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe an inch. It'll be 2nd down.
Good defensive stance there.
It was a very dangerous play. He saw there was nothing inside. He would have been dropped for a safety, so he managed to get outside. Sometimes in these situations, it may be best to take a safety, right?
Absolutely.
So here's Atkins. Gets through for a couple, and Sam Evans brings him down at the 6-yard line.
What a tenacious little ball player he is. Atkins has been rimbling and rumbling and dodging and ducking and scored 2 touchdowns, and he's over 100 yards already for today.
Under 30 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter, and 3rd down and 5 facing Albany State from their own 6-yard line. Option play to the right side, and a temporary fumble down there by the quarterback. Joyner actually fumbled the ball. Let's see who came up with it. Joyner fumbled the football.
Fort Valley is jumping up and down. No signal from the official yet. And guess who has the ball?
They're trying to unpile it. The ball is over here.
The ball is in the hands.
And Fort Valley does have it.
Yes.
Fort Valley has it. I don't know how they got up with it. He may have been down. Let's see if his knee was down when he let this ball go, first of all. That's the most important thing.
No, the ball.
No, he was not down.
No, he wasn't.
He was not down. He was still on somebody. We saw that in an NFL game last weekend.
Absolutely. And we'll tell you what. Here we go again. Ball is coming out now as he wheels around. And he was still on the body of a player, and his legs had not hit the ground. And about 7 times that ball was exchanged by 7 different men.
And somebody came up with it.
Yes.
And here's a pitch to Wimbush, trying to turn the corner. At the 5. Touchdown, Wimbush. From 11 yards out, Wimbush with his 2nd rushing touchdown today. So he pulls his team to within 4. 150 yards rushing for Derek Wimbush. Jacobs on for the point after. Kick is up. It is good. 3-point ball game, 20-17 as we come down to the end of the 3rd quarter here.
Here's the move that he reminded me of Jim Brown. Watch as he jumps through the hole. He wasn't going to be denied. Had a high leg kick and got it into the end zone for an 11-yard score.
1 play, 11 yards. And that's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter here. Taking advantage of it, they forced a fumble, and not only did they force it, they put it in for 6. And it's a 3-point ball game in Columbus. There is Mike White.
We didn't let him in the ball game. We didn't let him back in the ball game.
As you hear him saying, we don't let him back in the ball game. It's a 3-point game. Hap Smith, and our Geico trivia question, coached Albany State 24 years before retiring. Question was, how many SIAC titles did he win? Well, he won 9.
I know.
1984 to 85 and 86, 88 and 93, 94, 95, 96, 97. In fact, in 1997, they won their first NCAA Division II playoff game. They beat Southern Arkansas 10-6. They lost in the 2nd round to Carson Newman, 23-22. He also had only 6 losing seasons in 24 years. And you saw Ham Smith earlier today here in attendance. And that's our Geico trivia question, brought to you by Geico, the sensible alternative.
Deep kick it is here.
Jackus.
Almost a fumble. Ooh.
Alvin Ray Jackson on the return. I should say not Alvin Ray Jackson on the return. Number 2 is Dontrell Williams on the return.
Dontrell Williams. Watch the train killers on kickoff here, Charlie. It's you got to want to do this. Watch the up back man. Boom! 45 exploded in the wedge, and again, Dontrell has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
The Motown sound is back. Right?
Always. It'll never leave, brother.
So, as we start the fourth quarter here, first possession for Albany State in a 3-point ball game. Here's Atkins trying to go to the right side, cut off, and finally brought down after maybe a 2-yard gain. Now let's look at Mr. Atkins for today and see what he's been able to do. Over 100 yards rushing, over 1,000 yards for the year, and he has a pair of touchdowns for his team. He scored on a 4-yard run to make it 13-3, and then a 23-yard run that made it 20-3.
Picked up a fumble here.
Then he picked up a fumble. Yeah, he did. Unfortunately, that sustained a drive for them. But they weren't able to get it in the end zone. This is incomplete. Almost intercepted in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Jerry Mickens.
You've got to catch that ball. Your quarterback is depending. He's counting on you. He's confiding in you to catch that ball. It was a very catchable ball. Again, a no huddle here employed by Albany State. Tripped receivers to the left.
Atkins, the only setback back there. Here's the option to Atkins, trying to turn the corner, and they do a good job of not letting him turn the corner. Rashard Chisholm was there to make the stop. 4th down punting situation.
Great job here defensively.
So, I don't know what Coach Morgan said to his team at halftime, but they came out fired up. First play, they went into the end zone, made a good defensive stand, and they've come to within 3, and now a good defensive stand, forcing a punt on 4th down.
Whatever he told him, he should have told him that in the first half. Got a chance to return it.
Floyd.
Got a chance. Had a chance.
Floyd, they held on to him, but he still managed to get about 7 yards on the return into Albany State territory. Good field position for Fort Valley at the 47-yard line. And they got it going on. 20-17. Back here at fourth quarter, 13:30 to time remaining, and Fort Valley with the ball at the 47 of Albany State. Let's go down to Rob.
Hey, Coach John Morgan and his troops are back in this ball game, and earlier this week, I talked to Bowie State head coach Henry Frazier. He had nothing but much praise for John Morgan. Said John is a student of the game, knowledgeable about his craft, and Coach Morgan would be the first person in film session and the last to leave. He is a coach on the rise.
Well, he certainly is. When he came in for his interview at Fort Valley State, no coaching experience, didn't really think he had a chance, but he sold himself so well that he got his first shot, and now he's a strong candidate for Coach of the Year in the SIAC. And here's on 1st down and 10. Here's Lester throwing long. Has a man out there. Can't get to it. It was underthrown, and we get a flag. It may be roughing the passer. All the way downfield was a man who had just beaten his defender, and that was Antonio Hughes, or make that 83 rather. Takwa Thrasher, we've seen him go long on a couple plays this year.
Takwa's got the speed to get deep, and again, Lester didn't have a chance to set his right foot and air it out like he normally does, but again, it's a face mask against the defense. Automatic first down, I believe. He's throwing off his back foot, as you saw.
Oh, yeah,
no mechanics, no
97
principles.
got him, I believe. Elliott Bonds was the man who had the face mask.
Yes,
automatic first down.
Yes.
Elliott Bonds. So it's a 1st and 10 at the 33 of Albany State for Fort Valley after the face mask penalty. Takwa Thrasher still trying to make some catches here today.
Can you sense the momentum swinging?
Well, Lemo is a big guy.
Yes, he is, and it's swinging toward Fort Valley. Reverse.
And the reverse to one of the big guys, the tight end, but he doesn't get much out of that.
No, he doesn't.
That was Cecil Reed, a receiver, senior out of Folkestone, Georgia. Also one of those transfers from Georgia Military College. Quite a few on this Fort Valley team.
Well, Charlie, you know, as you mentioned, the young man who came in, he's not a regular starter. He comes in, defense sees it, coach sees it, and normally when he does run this, it's from that formation. That's why it was very well diagnosed defensively.
Loss on the play of 4 yards, 2nd and 14.
What a job.
Wimbush wrapped up before he could get going by Alan Lewis out of Ellenwood, Georgia. Let's recap the keys for Fort Valley and see how they've transpired up to this point.
Geico keys to victory for Fort Valley, rushed for 200. He's at 186 today. Field position by special team. Yeah, one person. Yeah, I'm not talking about the whole team. I'm talking about Derek Wimbush. And field position by special team, their average starting at their own 27, not bad. Defense forced turnovers, 1 fumble turnover, their own key.
Geico keys to winning, brought to you by Geico, the sensible alternative. On 3rd down, here's a pass.
Where is he throwing?
I don't know. It wasn't to me. Adam Bailey was the man downfield.
And you know what surprised me about a team like this who has a very good knack, it's 4th down, in throwing the ball. He's got great receivers. He has a great arm. He's got a great back who they run right side, left side, and up the middle. But in 2 weeks, I've yet to see a screen or a draw executed by Fort Valley. No screens, no draws.
That's great.
I'm amazed.
5 of 15, Lester today in the passing department.
A spent opportunity here. Missed opportunity, I mean.
Jacobs with the punt.
Another coffin corner.
He's done a fantastic job of placing the ball outside or inside the 20. He's done that consistently so far this afternoon. Coming into the game, he had done it 6 times. We've seen it twice today. Back here in the 4th quarter, 11:45 the time remaining. And Albany State with a 3-point advantage, and they have the ball 1st down and 10 at their own 4-yard line. After Jacques puts the ball out inside the 20 for the 2nd time this afternoon.
Very well executed by the punter. One at the 1-yard line, and this one is just about on the 3.
Albany State, Buell Joyner.
Atkins. Defense.
Maybe a yard to the 5. A lot of white jerseys. 11:20, clock running, 4th quarter.
Defense can use a big turnover here.
Little delayed handoff to Atkins, trying to get through. He gets about 4 yards up to the 9-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and 5. 3rd down and 5 for the workhorse for Albany State today. Antonio Atkins, 27 carries, 109 yards. Make it 28 carries, 112 yards.
Trips right.
Back to pass.
Trips right.
Under pressure.
Intercepted!
Almost
no.
in and out of the hands of the defensive back over there, Chris Jacobs. He had a chance at an INT in great field position, just couldn't hold on, but more importantly, they didn't complete the pass, and that's what Fort Valley wants is the ball back.
Indeed. They'll get a chance to get it back here by way of punt.
And in the punt it is Matt Hawthorne. Remember, Arango, who started the game as a punter, is out. He will not be back. He got injured in the first half. So Hawthorne.
Second attempt by Jacobs for a near interception. Got a chance.
Floyd.
Got a chance.
A return back inside the 30 to the 29. Let's check out the Albany State keys and see how they look as we revisit them.
Geico keys to victory for Albany State. Score more points. Only 20 points today. They've been averaging 46. Stop running attack. They've allowed 187 by Wimbush. Special teams play. They've missed the point after touchdown. They haven't been on key for victory yet.
Brought to you by Geico. The sensible alternative. The Geico keys to winning. Third straight time Fort Valley has started in Albany State territory.
Guess who?
And here's Wimbush trying to turn the corner.
Guess who?
And Wimbush finally run out of bounds on the far sideline in front of his own bench.
That gets
Curry.
him to 190 yards right there. Prior to that play, he was at 187.
172.
Okay.
2 touchdowns.
I'm giving him more yards than he's deserving then, huh?
From the 24-yard line. There's a gain of 5 on that play. And the pitch back to Wimbush. Trying to go to the right side, cuts through, gets the first down or close to it. He's a yard shy, gets to the 20, has to go to the 19.
He's inches shy here. Great job, what a tremendous back. This kid is a special back, Charlie, I'm telling you. We can look for big things from this young man for years to come. 6'2", 220 pounds, and he can carry the load.
He's only just a junior. Yeah,
yes.
He'll be back.
He's got another year to perfect his skills and his God-given talents.
Leading rusher in the SIAC, 17th in the nation in rushing coming in. This is his 6th 100-yard plus game. Rushing yards today, Fort Valley 220, 172. The quarterback decides he's going to keep it, and he's not going to get there. Lester, who was hurt on the series prior to the last one,
I don't understand that call. I don't understand that call.
Well, I don't think it was supposed to be that way. I think he was supposed to hand it off, and it was a mix-up. If you look at it, I think it was a mix-up in the backfield. They may bring on the kicking unit to try to field goal, to tie it up. Let's see what happens. It looks like it's a mix-up there, or that he may have slipped in trying to hand off to Wimbush, although Wimbush didn't look like he was expecting the ball, did he?
No, he didn't.
Well, this will be a 39-yard field goal attempt.
He's got the leg.
Well, he's already hit a 42-yarder in this game, so this is well within his range. There's some Greek. They've called the
cues. That's the cues.
The cues are down there in the end zone.
Kappas never would do that. Kappas never would do that, man. I mean, they got more decorum. I mean, what can I tell you, man?
Cues were in the end zone celebrating, and they had to chase him out of there so they could kick this field goal.
I'm telling you, man. The Noops never would have done it. I can tell you that for sure. We got 3 sitting here in the booth now.
All right. Just to tie it up. Dacus, 39 yards.
They need a good snap here. A good hold. Good snap, good hold.
Kick is up long enough, and it's no good. Off to
Wide
the left. Wide left. So Dacus.
Wasn't because he didn't have the leg.
He sure did. Had the distance.
He did. A little too much hook. Started a little too close to the center rather than toward the right up bar. If he'd have tried it a little more to the right up bar, it would have hit perfect. Again, not to worry. Just under 8 minutes to go. 7 minutes and 59 seconds.
They need another good defensive stand.
A big turnover here.
And here's a handoff again. Here's Atkins straight ahead.
Stop again made by one of those tenacious linebackers, Robert Avery. 5'11", 210.
Avery out of Decatur, Georgia. Gain of 3, 2nd and 7. Last game of the season for both of these squads.
Good field. Ooh!
He did a great job stopping
Sam
it.
Evans. Great job defensively on the right side. Charge was led there by number 6. Sam Evans, a linebacker at 6'1", 215, a junior also from Millen, Georgia. Here it is. Here's the force. Here comes the field. Boom! Oh!
Yeah, they held defensively. Big 3rd down play now facing both of these squads. Fort Valley needs a stop and the ball back to keep the drive alive. Albany State needs to convert. Let's see what happens with Yule Joyner.
Here's the pressure.
Throws, has it complete for Jackson, and he has the 1st down, and the drive stays alive inside or outside the 40 to the 42-yard line. Alvin Ray Jackson with the reception for Albany State, his 3rd of the day.
Alvin Ray Jackson, a 6'1", 180-pound junior. Here it is, great catch. A curl pattern, does a nifty move, cuts back inside, picks up a block from one of his receivers. 1st down yardage at the 42-yard line.
19-yard reception,
Atkins.
and here's Atkins. He gets to midfield, a gain of 8. And it was Sam Evans who had to hold on to keep him from getting more. 6:10 is the time remaining here in the ball game. And now valuable time coming off the clock against Fort Valley. Fort Valley needs to make a good defensive stand. It is 2nd down and 3.
Atkins again.
Cutting back and gets maybe 1 or 2. Into all Fort Valley territory. Where to be 3rd, we'll call it a long one. Again, Fort Valley started the season with a win over Morehouse. They lost to Winston-Salem. They beat Lane, Clark, and Alcorn before losing to Miles and Benedict. They beat Tuskegee, Stillman, and Kentucky State. 3rd down. Another big 3rd down play facing both squads.
No huddle. Wolf walking out the signals again.
Play action, little fake, gets the 1st down and plenty. All the way down to the 43-yard line of Fort Valley. So he's picked up some valuable yards when he needed to. That is Yule Joyner out of Albany, Georgia, just a junior. That was good for 5, but more importantly, a 1st down, and the clock continues to run.
Faked the ball to Atkins, kept it himself.
5 minutes, 5 seconds, the time remaining.
Fort Valley trailed by 3.
Joyner again, and we have a flag. We may have had offsides against the defense. I believe Fort Valley was lined up in the neutral zone.
Outside.
So you take the penalty, make it 1st and 5 rather than the play.
Indeed.
Moves you closer, you still have a 1st down.
5 just less yards to pick up.
Four minutes and 50 seconds. Again, the clock continuing to run. 1st and 5 for Albany State. Atkins hit before he could turn the corner. Back to the line of scrimmage. And that's all before Nick Morgan came up out of Cordele, Georgia, Chris County High to make the stop.
Nicholas Morgan, a DB, 6'2", 170-pound senior.
Business major, very active in the ROTC at Fort Valley. 2nd down. Here again, Atkins.
No, fake.
Oh, maybe the quarterback kept it. He can fake me. I know he faked the defense.
Because
he got a first down.
And he faked you out too. Mule Joyner on the carry, coming up to make the stop is number 20, Derek Fitzgerald. Here is great fake. The fake was made by the carry out of the fake by Atkins, which fooled the whole right side of the defense as we have a timeout.
And that's called by Fort Valley after that 12-yard run by Joyner. And Joyner has done a very good job today running the football. Yule Joyner, the quarterback. Just look at our long-distance play of the game. Here's a fake on the reverse on a kick return by Floyd. The only unfortunate part about it, we saw a flag being thrown by the line judge there, and that play was brought back, but it was a great run back by Floyd.
Illegal block in the back.
That was our Chrysler Jeep long-distance play of the game, brought to you by Jeep, the most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep. 20-17 is our score. As you look at John Morgan, he's the defensive coordinator, talking things over on the sideline with his team. But on the opposite sideline, confidence being displayed by the Albany State Golden Rams, who have kept this drive alive. They started at their own 22, and they've driven all the way down. This is the 9th play of this drive. They've driven all the way down to the Fort Valley State 15-yard line, or 25-yard line, rather.
Charlie, you talk about both these coaches, Coach White and Coach Morgan. They've instilled confidence as well as belief in both their squads. They wouldn't be here without it. Here's the touchdown.
It should be, and it should be offsides against the defense. Let's see, it goes to Romeo Montez, a sophomore out of Savannah, his first reception of the year, his first touchdown of the year. But let's see if they're going to bring this one back.
They'll bring it back. Well, they're calling it a touchdown.
I believe it was offsides against the defense.
Offside.
Refused. Touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown.
Yeah. So 25-yard pass and run. It was Joyner to Montez. And for Joyner, his 13th touchdown pass of the year. And here for the point after. The kick is Matt Hawthorne, and he puts it through. And he makes it a 10-point ball game, 27-17 here in the fourth quarter with 3:54 remaining. Here's Montez, his first catch of the year. He makes it a memorable one. Charlie Neal along with Lem Barney, Rob Jones here. What has been an exciting afternoon at this 14th Fountain City Classic in Columbus, Georgia, where Yule Joyner has just given his team a 10-point cushion over Fort Valley with 3:54 to go. Fort Valley needs to get something going.
10 points, no less.
And Floyd can't get anything going. For the second straight year, we want to congratulate Fayetteville State for their win over Elizabeth, make that Virginia Union rather, 23-19, to win their second straight CIAA football championship. So congratulations to the Broncos, Fort Valley State University.
Good coverage there by the kick cover team.
Coach Kenny Phillips done a great job with that squad up there in Fayetteville, North Carolina. First down and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Fort Valley down by 10.
New quarterback of record here.
Incomplete. Pressure being applied to the quarterback. Let's look at the rushing yards today for Derek Wimbush, 174, Albany State 202. Derek Wimbush will come maybe short of the 200-yard mark. He's not in the lineup right now because they need to put some points on the board quickly, so they're going to go more to their passing game. in these last 341.
Again, I say it again. In 2 weeks, I've yet to see a screen or draw executed by Fort Valley State.
Caught on the near sideline.
Out of bounds.
And they say out of bounds, but it was caught by Antonio Hughes, but he didn't have his feet in bounds. And the quarterback keeps paying the price, Lester. Every time he lets the ball go, he's hit.
Pop it, you throw it, you're going to get popped.
He certainly is.
That should have been a force out, too. Well, I don't know how they rule it here in the college game. It should have been a reception if he was driven out by the defender, but again, the official on the sideline ruled it incomplete.
But you don't need to get a whole lot of yards. All you need is 10. Get the first down to keep the drive alive. 3:34 remaining. Wimbush is in there, and this is going to go incomplete.
Great defensive play
Chris
there.
Colbert.
Yes.
Number 19, defending out of Roxy, Mississippi, a senior.
Homeboy from Mississippi, 6'0", 179-pound senior.
Clock stops with the incomplete pass. 3:26 is the time to play. And that's what's left in the season for both of these squads. Albany State, as you look at John Morgan, the disappointment on his face, shaking the head. What could have been, what should have been. But it still was a great season for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. They made it a ball game. They were down going into the halftime 20-3. They came out first play of the second half. That was almost blocked. We may get roughing the kicker so that they have good life.
Yes.
New life for Fort Valley. The kicker was roughed on the play. So they're going to keep the ball on the penalty against Albany State.
Yeah,
and that's
clear
the kind of play that I'm sure Mike White says, wait a minute, we don't need you to block the ball. We don't need, we're leading by 10. Let them kick it away. Don't do anything to give them new life.
Absolutely. That was clear cut and preponderant, roughing the punter.
Not good decision on the part of the offending player.
That wasn't one of the
smartest
academics. That wasn't one of the academic players. We know that. We know that.
First down and 10 for Fort Valley.
That's somebody who was majoring in basket weaving.
3:15, the time to go. And they keep the ball on the ground. They gain about 5 yards.
Wimbush again.
With 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go, clock continuing to run on the running play. Wimbush is in the lineup.
It's at 3 minutes right now. Time is not on their side. They need to call 2 plays in a huddle.
They're taking too much time to get up to the line and get there Fort Valley with only 1 timeout left. So they're going to have to use it wisely. And a flag is down. We may have offsides against the defense. Let's see.
It is an automatic first down.
No, well, yeah, it would be a first down. We give them 5 yards.
Yes.
Lined up in the neutral zone.
7 for Valley.
So that 5-yard penalty makes it a first down for Fort Valley. They move the ball all the way down.
Penalty scenario there, pretty much even.
Well, they're saying it's not first down. I don't know how they didn't get a first down out of that. The official just stopped where the Albany State players told him to. He didn't mark all the 5 yards off.
Let's find out where this guy is from. Great catch.
And it's caught by Bailey, the tight end, and he's down to the 40.
If we get a chance to see this play again, Charlie, I want to explain something to you. A defensive back, I'm going to find out who it was. Here it is, the over route by the tight end. See the defensive back try to close from the outside?
Right.
You never close from the outside.
That's Chris Henderson.
Yeah, you got to close from the inside. Coach used to tell me this, Lim, if you go for the interception, be the hero, don't be the GOAT.
That's right.
They're going for it all, and it's too big, yes.
3 defenders down there, more blue jerseys than white. Actually, there were 4 blue jerseys down in the end zone and 1 white jersey. And the only person down there with a friendly jersey on for Fort Valley was Marcus Bentley, number 84.
All alone, all by himself.
Been a fashion show here today, Lim.
Big time fashion all day today.
Charlie Neal along with Lim Barney, Rob Jones here. What has been an exciting afternoon at this 14th Fountain City Classic in Columbus, Georgia, where Yul Joyner has just given his team a 10-point cushion over Fort Valley with 3:54 to go. Fort Valley needs to get something going.
10 points, no less.
And Floyd can't get anything going. For the second straight year, we want to congratulate Fayetteville State for their win over Elizabeth, make that Virginia Union rather, 23-19, to win their second straight CIAA football championship. So congratulations to the Broncos, Fort Valley State University.
Good coverage there by the kick cover team.
Coach Kenny Phillips done a great job with that squad up there in Fayetteville, North Carolina. First down and 10 at their own 22-yard line. Fort Valley down by 10.
New quarterback of record here.
Incomplete. Pressure being applied to the quarterback. Let's look at the rushing yards today for Derek Wimbush, 174, Albany State 202. Derek Wimbush will come maybe short of the 200-yard mark. He's not in the lineup right now because they need to put some points on the board quickly, so they're going to go more to their passing game in these last 3:41.
Again, I say it again, in 2 weeks, I've yet to see a screen or draw executed by Fort Valley State.
Caught on the near sideline.
Out of bounds.
And they say out of bounds, but it was caught by Antonio Hughes, but he didn't have his feet in bounds. And the quarterback keeps paying the price, Lester. Every time he lets the ball go, he's hit.
Pop it, you throw it, you're going to get popped.
He certainly is.
That should have been a force out, too. Well, I don't know how they rule it here in the college game. It should have been a reception if he was driven out by the defender, but again, the official on the sideline ruled it incomplete.
But you don't need to get a whole lot of yards. All you need is 10. Get the first down to keep the drive alive.
Yes.
3:34 remaining. Wimbush is in there, and this is going to go incomplete.
Great defensive play
Chris
there.
Culver.
Yes.
Number 19, defending out of Roxy, Mississippi, a senior.
Homeboy from Mississippi, 6'0", 179-pound senior.
Clock stops with the incomplete pass. 3:26 is the time to play. And that's what's left in the season for both of these squads. Albany State, as you look at John Morgan, the disappointment on his face, shaking the head. What could have been, what should have been. But it still was a great season for the Wildcats of Fort Valley. They made it a ball game. They were down going into the halftime 20-3. They came out first play of the second half. That was almost blocked. We may get roughing the kicker so that they have good life.
Yes.
New life for Fort Valley. The kicker was roughed on the play. So they're going to keep the ball on the penalty against Albany State.
Yeah,
that's the kind of play that I'm sure Mike White says, wait a minute, we don't need you to block the ball. We don't need, we're leading by 10. Let them kick it away. Don't do anything to give them new life.
Absolutely. That was clear cut and preponderant, roughing the punter.
Not good decision on the part of the offending player.
That wasn't one of the
smartest
academics. That wasn't one of the academic players. We know that. We know that.
First down and 10 for Fort Valley.
That's somebody who was majoring in basket weaving.
3:15, the time to go. And they keep the ball on the ground. They gain about 5 yards.
Wimbush Wimbush again.
With 3 minutes and 4 seconds to go, clock continuing to run on the running play. Wimbush is in the lineup.
It's at 3 minutes right now. Time is not on their side. They need to call 2 plays in the huddle.
They're taking too much time to get up to the line and get there Fort Valley with only 1 timeout left. So they're going to have to use it wisely. And a flag is down. We may have offsides against the defense. Let's see.
It is. It's an automatic first down.
No, well, yeah, it would be a first down. We give them 5 yards.
Yes.
Lined up in the neutral zone.
7 for Valley.
So that 5-yard penalty makes it a first down for Fort Valley. They move the ball all the way down.
Penalty scenario there, pretty much even.
Well, they're saying it's not first down. I don't know how they didn't get a first down out of that. The official just stopped where the Albany State players told him to. He didn't mark all the 5 yards off.
Let's find out where this guy is from. Great catch.
And it's caught by Bailey, the tight end, and he's down to the 40.
If we get a chance to see this play again, Charlie, I want to explain something to you. A defensive back, I'm going to find out who it was. Here it is, the over route by the tight end. See the defensive back try to close from the outside?
Right.
You never close from the outside.
That's Chris Henderson.
Yeah, you got to close from the inside. Coach used to tell me this, Lim, if you go for the interception, be the hero, don't be the GOAT.
That's right.
They're going for it all, and it's too big, yes.
3 defenders down there, more blue jerseys than white. Actually, there were 4 blue jerseys down in the end zone and 1 white jersey. And the only person down there with a friendly jersey on for Fort Valley was Marcus Bentley, number 84.
All alone, all by himself.
It's been a fashion show here today, Lim.
Big time fashion all day today. It's been a great day for it, however.
Yeah, no question.
The Lord blessed us greatly with warm weather.
Yeah, thank goodness. 2nd and 10.
2 minutes, 19 seconds. Where is he throwing?
I have no clue. You tell me and I'll tell you.
Then we will both know that. Then we'll both know.
3rd down, 3rd and 10. 2:14, the clock stops. Remember, again, Fort Valley does still have 1 timeout remaining. But they're down by 10 right now, 27-17. In case you just joined us, Joyner, 7-0, a 4-yard run made it 7-0. Deckers, 42-yard field goal, 7-3. Atkins, 4-yard run, 13-3. Atkins, 23-yard run, and it was 20-3 at halftime. Right now, it's 27-17. Albany State. Going upstairs again.
Got separation.
Flag.
Yeah, holding.
Pass interference on the defense. But they don't take it to the spot.
I know it. You got 15 yards.
15 yards against Albany State.
On the defense using the armbar, pass interference on the defense. First down, 15 from the 40-yard line. Defense, pass interference.
They said an arm bar, so that'll take it down to the 25.
Get a chance to see it again. Here it is, he airs it out. Good job, you get separation from the intended receiver. Daniel Dukes is the culprit there.
Well, you know, you always go back and you can look at any ball game, and maybe I'll revisit this after this play. As we look at it, it's 2:07 remaining. And you can surmise why and what went wrong and what you could have done. Going to the end zone again, intercepted in the end zone.
Out of bounds.
But they call it out of bounds. It was intercepted in the end zone.
No, interception. He gives the interception now.
Jermaine Collins, that's his 6th INT of the year. He sprained his ankle earlier this year against Miles, and he's tied for 2nd in the SIAC against and passes defended, and he comes up big this time, takes it away.
Great
That's
job
the first
there.
interception of the game by Fort Valley, well, 2nd actually by Fort Valley.
Jermaine Collins. He moves up.
There's the interceptions. 6 for Jermaine Collins. Shelton Belton didn't get one today.
Chance on 2, but didn't come up with it.
Certainly didn't.
This pretty much seals the fate.
He got all the way to the 25, and Atkins still running hard. You know, we're talking about, you can go back and cite some things and why things happen. 2 plays in this ball game stand out in my mind. The sack by Joyner, and he fumbled the ball, and it was picked up by Atkins.
Absolutely.
And they kept the drive alive, and then they came down and they missed a 39-yard field goal, and then Albany State drove 78 yards to go up 10 points.
Absolutely. Our Office Depot MVPs of the game for Fort Valley and Albany State. What do you think? And what do you know? Our Office Depot.
I think it was Yul Joyner and Derek Wimbush.
Absolutely. Good choices.
Brought to you by Office Depot. What you need to know. Our MVPs of the game. So it's been a festive occasion here in Columbus, Georgia. Not a happy ending for the Wildcat fans from Fort Valley State as we're down to 1:04 remaining here in the ball game.
And understanding that Tuskegee was leading Kentucky State 16-14 with only 6 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Well, if that holds up, then Albany State wins the SIAC championship. And let's look at the drive of the game. Brought to you by Chrysler Jeep. This is coming on that last drive in which Albany State came all the way down the field on a 78-yard drive. And they take it into the end zone with that pass to Montez, his first catch of the year. It was good for 6, and they made the extra point stand up, and it's a 10-point ball game, 27-17. Our drive of the game brought to you by Chrysler Jeep. The most respected, honored, and heroic 4x4s out there, only in a Jeep 4x4.
What a memorable game for Montez.
Yeah.
And I had Montez in there, so first catch, first touchdown.
Right, and here's Derek Wimbush. Big yards for him this afternoon. 184 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just missed the 200-yard rushing mark by about 16. But again, he's going to be something to be reckoned with in his first year over here as a member of the Wildcats of Fort Valley State, the young man you're going to hear from in the future. And he's had 6 100-yard games this year.
A very gifted and special ball player.
Yeah, they came against Morehouse, Lane, Clark Atlanta, Alcorn. And of course, last week against Kentucky State in here today.
216, yes.
First down and 10.
Atkins.
Still on his feet. And Atkins. And look at the little guy carry people forward. Now the whistle finally blows.
Cooler heads must prevail. Cooler heads must prevail.
Over 140 yards for Mr. Atkins today. He gets 1,000 yards rushing for the season.
Congratulations to...
He needed 100 coming in, and that's a true freshman. Walk on out of Jessup, Georgia.
141. 31 carries.
The SIAC newcomer of the week last week for 240-yard performance and 32 yards reception in their last outing. And that was against Morehouse, and he was featured against John Washington, or David Washington, who's Denzel's son.
Yes.
So congratulations to Mike White, who's looking and hoping for good results from down in Tuskegee, Alabama. Waiting the score of the Tuskegee Albany State game to see just exactly what, if any, championship might be in the future. There's your look at John Morgan. His team fought valiantly. They finished the season 7-4, 5-3 in the conference. Not a bad showing for a man in his first year in the SIAC. One of 3 new coaches in the SIAC this year, along with John Morgan, Darren Hayes, I should say, at Lane College, and John Hendrick over at Benedict. So congratulations, the most successful of the 3 new head coaches in the SIAC this year.
Congratulations, Coach John Morgan.
And Mike White Well, he's just continuing to keep on where he's keeping on. He was the defensive coordinator, and now he's the head coach for his 4th year, and he has a win. He's down with our Rob Jones.
Coach White, what a win. You won 4 of the last 5 classics. You guys came prepared to play tonight.
It's always a great game, a hard-fought game, and we didn't let them down. We didn't let them down. Again, our guys played hard and was able to pull us out.
Took advantage of those early miscues by the team, and that set the tone.
Yeah, it did. Again, we knew the mistakes would be the difference, and that's what it came down to. Good job, Mike.
Offense and balanced attack. Yul Joyner running and passing. He was the maestro of this game.
No doubt about it. He's been doing it all year for us, and today was the same for us. Yul played well. Our defense played well. Our special team came up with some plays, and we was able to key in on some mistakes they made early.
Antonio Atkins continues to prove everyone wrong.
There was 2 great backs in here again, 2 great teams again, Winbush and Antonio, and we knew it was going to come down to that. Which one of those backs is going to shine? Antonio played well today.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck.
All right.
All right, well, thank you very much. Congratulations to Mike White, and he's going to be listening to the score that's taking place down in Tuskegee to see exactly where their fate lies in terms of the SIAC championship. We'll be back to wrap things up from Columbus, Georgia, in this, the Fountain City Classic, 14th edition, in just a moment.